Blue skies and the sun bearing down on another hot day, but we wouldn't have it any other way. Today, a team that at the beginning of the season looked like it might be limping across the finish line is now red hot, winning 7 of their last 8. On the other side, the first half champs have lost back-to-back games for the first time in over a month, but none of that matters today. It's a question of who will close out the season series on top. It's the Oahe Zap and the Spearfish Sasquatch live from Black Hills Energy Stadium in beautiful Spearfish, South Dakota. As we welcome you up into the press box, I'm AJ Reese. I'll be joined by Aiden Wirtz, our producer, director, color commentator, researcher, and everything in between. Aiden, this is the 9th game between these two teams. The Squatch have won 6 of the 8 games that they've played already, but they lost last night in a game that felt like the Squatch were just waiting for that big inning offensively, and for the first time, the pitching staff didn't really show up on the mound.
Yeah, I think the only guy who's really happy with his performance is probably Jack Riley, one of his last games. I think last game today, right? We'll talk about that later. Agadal being that 6'8" frame coming over the top, it's a scary sight, but once he gets out of control, you can kind of get in his head a little bit. I think he kind of felt that pressure a little bit, started throwing some balls, started, moving guys on the first base, free bases. That was kind of frustrating. You could tell he slowed down his fastball. Guys were starting to see him and hit him a little bit more. So the bullpen was a little bit iffy, and again, the bats just didn't get going. We're missing a guy like Kyle Finn right now, still a home run leader, if I'm correct right there, right? He's only a couple away from breaking the record for the Sasquatch, but he's obviously been a little bit ill. He's been sick, and there's been some other guys that haven't been hitting as well as they probably want to. I know Kwapnowski is not in the lineup right now today, neither is Finn, so 2 of the biggest bats in the team not currently in. Foyer back in, I believe. So that'll be fun. He came up last night, but the defense hopefully looking to have less errors tonight with Foyer out there as well.
Yeah, it seems to be a lot of things that happened at the beginning of the season that were issues are starting to pop back up, and really in large part is because of the fresh faces coming in. It almost feels like a new beginning to the season because so many guys have left and so many new faces are coming in. You already mentioned Jack Riley, another guy, Evan Luke. This is their final day in Spearfish. They'll be heading home, and it'll be interesting to see how this team recovers from all these faces leaving and all the new ones coming in. But it's almost, I dare to say, encouraging if what was the problem at the beginning of the year is coming back when you flip the page, because it feels like, oh, we're just resetting again and getting our feet back underneath us.
Right.
Here's Will Furry on the mound. Popped up to shallow right. Porter in the grass makes the catch.
Clay Porter's been a nice addition to the lineup, both in the field and at the plate. He's had a couple of doubles recently, but obviously he's been able to, I think, fill some gaps over there short at times. Obviously, him and Martinez, him and the second baseman, I forgot if it was Martinez or not, that was playing last night. I think it was, right?
Martinez.
Okay, lovely. I mean, those guys are obviously, very new to each other, as Clay Porter's new as Spearfish as of a week ago as well.
Here is Aiden Johnson after the pop out by Gavin Frazier. Big hack and a miss to start off the at-bat. Interesting jersey matchup today. The Squatch in their baby blues with the clean white pants, and the Zap also in their lighter baby blues and highlighter yellow pants. It is quite the sight.
Yeah, my
quite the combo.
My polo's a similar color to the Zap top, but I don't know if I have a pair of highlighter bottoms in my apparel closet, to be honest with you.
Might have to add that.
Might have to.
Here's the 0-2. Called strike 3, and Furry has a quick couple of outs in his first strikeout of the day.
And Furry's a perfect name to start on the bump. It's a perfect name for the entire night. It's Mr. Sasquatch night here in the stadium, so they're going to pick out a couple of more than hairy fans out of the crowd. I know Cooper Smith, one of the interns, has been volunteered by our GM Eric Schmidt. He shaved the other day, so that probably gives him a couple of points off the docket, but hopefully he'll get first or second later on. There's also a chugging contest he might want to win.
Well, shoot, I might want to get down there. Ground ball to Bo, picks it up, flips to Furry in time, and a quick 1-2-3 inning for Will Furry, and the Squatch are coming to the plate. Couldn't ask for a better start for Furry on the mound on Mr. Sasquatch night here at the ballpark. The Spearfish Sasquatch have won the first half and are in the playoffs. You don't want to miss watching this historic team in action. Join us for a 2-game series against the Casper Spuds starting on Saturday with Fireworks Night presented by Visit Spearfish. We'll cap off the series on Sunday at 4:05 p.m. for 9 innings of winning night presented by Britt Oliver Globe Life Family Heritage Division. Catch all the action live on YouTube or head to SpearfishSasquatch.com and get your tickets today.
Spearfish Sasquatch is number 11, center fielder, Luke Torelli.
Estevan Baca on the mound for the Zap in the bottom of the first. Will Furry, a nearly perfect first inning, 7 pitches thrown and a punch-out. And you couldn't ask for a better start. We'll see if Baca can follow it up. He'll face Torelli, Martinez, and Porter. They'll be followed by Bowman, Michelson, and Scott. And rounding out the starting 9 is Kiefer, Foyer, and Hansen. The 0-1-2 Torelli. Breaking ball misses away. Now Torelli hasn't played since the Nebraska series. Didn't play against the Plainsmen. Didn't play yesterday against the Zap. So he's had about a week off. Resting the legs, he's been an important part to this lineup, not just at the bat, at the plate, or in the field, but also on the mound.
Absolutely. He's got a pretty strong arm. He was a very solid strike thrower for the Squatch. He wasn't walking too many guys.
8 strikeouts to 2 walks in 6 1/3 innings of work. One of those was a start. 1-2. Breaking ball fouled away.
Boy, that guy hung.
Remember to take your foul ball to the concession stand and get
That's the one funny thing the Squatch have struggled with a little bit is being out in front sometimes. I know Chase Scott had a couple of those the other night, as well as Bowman on those kind of hanging breaking balls. So one of the lessons today, probably wait back a little bit, find your pitch.
The word yesterday on those pitches was delectable.
Delectable.
Learning new words up here. 1-2 on Torelli. Watch out. And it's 2-2. Torelli's also been described as a guy who just gets on base.
Yes.
He would have been great for Brad Pitt.
Billy Bean?
Billy Bean. There
Billy
we go.
Bean.
Billy Bean. And
Moneyball.
was that 2006?
Early 2000s. I always forget what year because I don't know if it's 2005 to 2006 when they did it or 2006, 2007 when they did it, but it's in that realm
Somewhere around there.
of years. We could look it up and be correct, but why be right when you could just guess?
Exactly. Full count. Taken for strike 3. Top of the zone. And Torelli goes down looking.
That ball is definitely a little high for a hitter like Torelli. On a guy like Kyle Finn Bowman, we can see that kind of coming in right above the belly button chest area. On Torelli, who's not small, it's still probably a bit high for his liking. Nonetheless, again, varying umpires in this league will have to rearrange our zone and our vision as well.
Brings up Isaac Martinez. Boy, that was called a strike. Isaac's saying that that was above his chest, was it not? That looked really high and inside. It backed Isaac off the plate.
We'll take a look here in a second after this pitch. I guess before this pitch. Yeah, that one was right at about his neckline.
And Martinez has to swing away at it. Pops it up in the infield. First baseman comes in and makes the catch. That's Quinn Ludvigsen. And that also changes, what the hitter now has to look for.
Yes.
If that pitch is being called up at the letters, you have to somehow get on top of that pitch.
Absolutely.
Because if you're underneath it at all, that's what's going to happen. Brings up Clay Porter with nobody on and 2 down. Breaking ball misses. Porter, another late addition for the Sasquatch, but as we said in the top half, has made an impact already. Hitting .267 in just 5 games.
The 2002 A's, by the way.
2002.
Yes.
Just a few years
And they
off.
finished 103 and 59 that year.
Crazy
Second
year.
best in Major League Baseball.
Well, Porter would also be probably a contender to make that team. He's got an on-base percentage of exactly .500. 6 walks, 7 runs, couple of RBIs. Has a really good eye at the plate. He's ahead in the count, 3-0. That one's too far upstairs. And Porter's aboard with his 7th walk of the season.
Oh, yeah. We should just be playing like Walk the Line by Johnny Cash each time these guys get on. It wouldn't be too bad.
I like that idea.
All right, I'll tell.
Go
the
tell Savannah.
audio folks.
There we go.
We'll get on that.
Heck yeah. Here's Jordan Bowman, first pitch, breaks over the plate for a strike. He's got a lot of bite on that curveball, but
He really
it's
does.
very similar to the starter last night.
Yeah.
It's not like it has an aggressive bite. It just takes a while to get there.
Right. It's like a kid, couple months into braces, right? The bite is not as aggressive as it could be anymore, but definitely still some bite, Or a newborn horse. The teeth aren't as big.
Where are
The
you
bite's not as
getting
strong.
Where are you
The
getting
bite's not
these
as strong.
analogies?
Or a baby who just ate, right?
Oh, boy. Porter is thrown out at first. What a move by Baca on the mound. And Clay just a little bit too far off the bag. And the Squatch go down in order despite Porter getting on base. Bowman will have to lead off the second. In a really good inning for Estevan Baca, a backwards K. And he throws out a guy at first on a great pickoff move. No score through 1.
tonight. So raise a glass to the boys on the field, with Squatch juice in hand, fate is sealed. In Spearfish we trust, our spirits unchained. Under the stars, champions proclaim.
Two.
Jake Daly, Garen Gledhill, and Quinn Ludvigsen to lead off the top of the second. Will Furry, a 7-pitch first inning, and he starts off with a strike. Features a fastball low to mid-80s, but has a really good changeup. Mixes in his curveball, slider, and two-seamer. And there's that slider. He's been working on it a lot this summer with Aiden Knowles, and we talked with Aiden a little bit about that. And just the kind of bite that he has on it. Here's a tapper past Furry. Here comes Porter. The throw to first. Got him. Great play by Clay to come charging in and make the play on the run.
Really nice play by Clay. Obviously right past the outstretched glove of Furry right there. One that you want as a pitcher, would make it easier. But again, these infielders, the problem, the errors that they've had aren't coming from waiting back. They're coming from charging plays like that. But, of course, Porter makes it look easier than, that play is for sure.
Brings up Garen Gledhill. Now, it wasn't Aiden Knowles that we were talking. We were talking with Evan Luke, because that is his bread and butter
about
pitch right
slider?
there. About his slider.
Yes.
And he said he's been working with Furry on it. Here's another chopper to Porter. This one a little bit easier, but still the same result.
Furry looking to have another pretty minimal pitch inning here if he can. Was that the first pitch right there?
I think it was either first or second pitch, yeah.
2 or 3 on the first guy, 1 or 2 on the second one. I'm losing.
Going to have to ask Luke again.
I think it was. That's just 4 or 5 pitches right there.
Brings up Quinn Ludvigsen.
1 pitch inning here, and he'll be working with less than 15 going into the third.
Talk about efficiency. Trying to save this bullpen, who is starting to run thin with how many games this team has played over the last couple of weeks. We'll finally have a couple of days off coming up after today. Popped up down the left field line. Kiefer giving chase, but it drops harmlessly into the dirt.
That's a really tough one to find over there if you're Kiefer. You're trying to play Willie Mays and polo grounds, but you're on gravel and close to a chain link fence, so not exactly the most favorable terrain for you to run on and try to find that guy.
I mean, Foyer probably had the better angle, but there's no way that he was going to be able to catch up to it with how fast. He is really fast, but not high enough for him to get over there. Called a strike on the outside corner. And Blues got a pretty wide zone, but it stayed consistent both ways for the most part. 1-2. Pulled to the first baseman. Bowman waits for it, picks it up, flips to Furry for out number 3. Wills face the minimum through 2. And the Squatch are coming back to the plate. See if they can get some offense behind this great start from Will Furry.
Road trips are measured in miles of uncontrollable laughter, comfortable silence, and new memories. And for 50 years, Super 8 has been there for wherever your journey takes you. So when the open road calls for a good night's rest, you can depend on Super 8's modern rooms at over 2,000 locations. Plus, earn Wyndham Rewards points for every stay. Super 8, one of 24 trusted brands by Wyndham. See you on the road.
So make sure you visit the guest services tent located on the concourse. Tonight's game is presented by Squatch Juice. It's proud to partner
too.
Bowman to lead off the bottom of the second. He came to the plate, but Clay Porter was picked off at first on a great move by Baca. And the Squatch were technically put down in order, despite Clay getting on base. See what he can do here in the bottom of the second. Still no score. Both pitchers have been spectacular so far. You want to talk about efficiency. Furry has thrown 16 pitches through 2 innings. Let's see what Baca's at after this one. Here's a line drive to left. It'll hang up for Curiel to make the catch.
Bowman's been real out front of the past couple at bats he's had. Of course, it's not always a bad thing, but it is an opportunity to pull it right towards that left fielder instead of kind of hit that gap there in left center.
If you're going to pull it that hard, you got to either put it out or have it hug the line. Here is Owen Michelson, the 5'11 sophomore from Candler, North Carolina. Attends University of North Carolina, Asheville. Hitting .318 on the season with a .460 on base. Played soccer and basketball in high school. And didn't know if he was actually going to get to play collegiate baseball. Nobody was really looking at him, wasn't getting any calls. But late, I believe his senior year, he got a call from Asheville asking if he wanted to play baseball. And he said, sure, why not?
He played, you said soccer and basketball?
Yep.
In addition to baseball, right?
In addition to baseball.
I'm about to say, it'd be pretty crazy. They're like, hey, dude, we saw your basketball highlights, and we think you'd be a good ball player, actually.
We actually want you to come on out and play baseball.
Hey, we saw you throw a ball down the court. We think you could have a mean arm behind the plate.
Well, if that's the case, then they were absolutely right.
Exactly.
Good scouting. Line drive up the middle for a base hit. Not only is his arm electric, but his bat has been catching heat as of recently on now a 4-game hit streak. And the Squatch have a base runner, their first hit of the night overall. And here is Chase Scott, the designated hitter. Chase, a 6'2 freshman from Ridgecrest, California, attends Saracoso Community College with a lot of the guys on this team, but also his dad, who is the head coach out there, and the head coach here in Spearfish. They'll check on Michelson. He does have a stolen base on the year. Actually, make that 2. He's only been caught once. Strike at the bottom of the zone evens the count. Chase hitting .347 this season with a .507 on base. Has also pitched in a couple of games, only 2/3 of an inning in a 27.0 ERA. He is technically listed as a 2-way, but he said when we talked to him a few weeks ago, we asked him if he was going to get out there and pitch again. He said, no, I'm just working on the bat in my glove now. 2-way is probably off the table moving forward. Skips away from Codina behind the plate, and Michelson takes 90 feet.
Michelson, normally the guy to be watching somebody take 90, but obviously not too far because he's normally throwing about 90% of them out. Of course, he gets his opportunity to take a bag right there, too.
It's tough to steal any bases off of Michelson, and that message has started to spread around the rest of the Independence League. Not as many guys trying to run on Michelson as there were at the beginning of the year. Hanging breaker doesn't break. Nearly catches Scott on the backside of the head, but he ducks out of the way.
That feels like me when I'm trying to learn a new pitch. I'm like, you ready for this one? It's going to break. Are you ready?
Hey, I promise it's going to break.
And it's going to hit him in the head. Anybody who ever caught a bullpen for me when I was like 10 trying to learn the most ridiculous pitch.
High fly ball to shallow center. Phillips is over. Makes the catch. Michelson tags, but will hold up.
Not too much there for Chase Scott. Just popped it a little bit too high. As you can see, his ball had some tail on it from kind of left to right action, but that just hung up there in the wind a little bit.
Yeah, wind will certainly help out the lefties today if they're able to put a good swing on it.
Yep.
Wind hasn't been a huge factor this
No.
summer. Every once in a while we'll get a pretty windy day, but for the most part, it's been the heat that helps out.
Yep.
Especially on a day like today. A little bit of wind out to right field. It's another scorcher. If you're a lefty, got to be ready. Ben Foyer with a nice play on deck on the foul ball from Kiefer.
As Foyer mentioned last night in his debut on the broadcast, he just loves defense. He just loves defense.
And he's been starting to heat up on offense as well. He said that is a big thing that he struggled with in the spring and something he wanted to work on further this summer. And it's certainly started to come together early in this second half. And they're going to need him for sure. I mean, he's already proven he's got the glove to man shortstop, but if his bat can get hot, he can be a real problem at the bottom of the order. 1-1 on Kiefer. Catches the inner part of the plate.
That one just sinks in there.
Wilson, a 6'1 freshman from Rapid City, attends University of Northern Colorado with former Sasquatch teammate Ethan Mooser, who left earlier this week. 1-2. Breaker in the dirt. Knocked down. Michelson takes off for third, and he's safe. Good read from O. Able to take an extra 90 feet, and the first run of the ball game's 90 feet away. And I think Michelson might have tore his pants. He's wincing down there. Now, I never wore the long pants, but
you were always the long socks.
I was the long
pants.
socks, but if you don't get enough of the pants on the dirt, it hurts. It really hurts. I mean, that is some hard clay that you're sliding on.
Yeah.
2-2 on Kiefer. Breaker fouled away.
That's just a kind of like a defend yourself swing there.
Absolutely.
He didn't even have a load to it. He just threw his bat at it. Kiefer had a new walk-up song for today in the next couple of days, just courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue for the 4th of July coming up to celebrate that.
Well, going back to that swing, he knows that the umpire's zone's a little bit bigger, so he's going to have to swing at anything close just to stay alive. This one's not called. Breaker nearly caught the top of the zone.
Boy, that one was hard to hold off for him. You could see. He almost pulled that bat. He didn't almost pull it through, but he definitely made a little motion. Good eye from him right there.
Full count, 2 down. Michelson on third. The pitch. Breaker swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Esteban Baca. And the Squatch strand a runner 90 feet away. Make it 2 Ks on Baca through 2 innings, and we're scoreless. Top of the third coming up.
My favorite thing about Macero's, it's the staff. The culture is unlike anything I've ever experienced.
Spot On has greatly reduced the time our managers spend on scheduling. The biggest advantage is its tip management. At a touch of a button, it instantly allocates tip pooling and tip splitting.
Our employees love it that as soon as we've done the tip distribution, they can see what they made yesterday. It's real straightforward. What you see is what you get, and that's what you want working in a restaurant. And with Spot On, you've got everything there at the tip of your fingers.
From Boise, Idaho, and fun fact about me
2.
Will Furry out for the third. He has been spectacular through 2 innings. He's thrown 16 pitches, has a backwards K, a lot of weak contact so far, a pop out, and 4 ground outs so far today. You'll start off inside on Noah Codina, his first at-bat today. Codina attends Texas College. He's appeared in 10 games this summer, hitting .323 with a .400 on-base percentage, 5 RBIs, 3 walks, and looking for his first stolen base of the year. Lifted out to right center. Hanson back, makes the catch. Make it 7 straight for Furry. Here is Andrew Phillips, the center fielder.
A shout out to the Zap Bat Boy you just saw run across your screen. He probably stands no taller than 3 feet tall. He's got a gray shirt on. You'll see him come through a couple times, but he's one of the honorary Bat Boys for Zap today.
Foul down the line. And it's quickly 0-1. Andrew Phillips attends South Dakota State University. He's appeared in 24 games this summer, hitting .145 with a .295 on base percentage. That one misses up and in. Now joining us in the broadcast booth is Miss Megan Flanagan.
Hey everybody, I've been waiting for this moment. I usually do the on-field stuff, but now I get to be up here today.
So you have an interest in going into the broadcasting world?
Yeah, that would be the dream, to be like Holly Rowe in any sport, truly. Just get my name out there and talk to all the players and stuff like that.
So the dream job for you, whether it's any network, any team, what is it?
You know where I want to work.
Yeah,
I would
I know.
love to be the LSU girl of, everyone hears LSU and then they hear me, and that would be awesome. Go Tigers.
The LSU Tigers sideline reporter?
Yes, that would be the dream.
Well, you've already got a leg in down there at LSU, so
Absolutely.
all they need to do is listen to this tape, right?
Exactly. Look, I'm already a shoo-in.
Furry allows his first base runner of the night. It's on a walk, and he has been red hot tonight.
Yeah, these have been some super quick innings. Just 3 up, 3 down type thing.
Before that, he sat down the first 7 in order, but now he'll have a runner on with Emiliano Curiel, the left fielder, due up. First pitch from Furry. Ground ball up the middle. Foyer gloves it, flips to second for 1. The turn in time.
Nice.
Will Furry has faced the minimum through 3 innings, and he is red hot. See if the bats can come alive in the bottom of the 3rd.
Yeah, he is absolutely killing it today.
It's another party up in the press box. It is every
Party.
single day. Megan on the headset. Sampson keeping us entertained as he does every single day.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Megan making her debut.
I love the applause.
Sampson, he's up here every day. He knows the deal. Awesome. Thanks for coming up, Sampson.
Oh, there we go.
Awesome. No score. Here comes Ben Foyer to the plate for his first at-bat. The Squatch had a runner on third, but could not bring him around. Estevan Baca back out for another inning of work. First pitch. Called a strike at the bottom of the zone. So, Megan, we know that you go to LSU. Mm-hmm. You want to be a sideline reporter for the LSU Tigers.
Yes.
How did you find out about this internship in Spearfish?
Yeah, so I needed an internship for school.
Here's a ground ball through the right side, and Foyer's aboard.
Let's go, Ben. Yeah, no, I needed an internship for school just to to graduate, and I hopped on Handshake, and this was the first one. And I've changed my major 4 times, so I have no sports experience before this. And then Spearfish said, we don't care. So here I am trying to get some sports experience. So.
What were you studying before?
I did animal science, then natural resource and ecology management, and then marketing. And now we're in sports administration. 4th time's a charm? I don't know. That's what they say, right?
Yeah, no, that's how the saying goes.
Definitely.
Here is Karsten Hansen, the right fielder, with Foyer on first and nobody out.
Has he had a lot of at-bats?
Limited, but he's been getting a lot more action since the second half, especially with the departure of Ethan Mooser and a lot of other guys in this lineup. Karsten is going to have to be one of the younger members of this squad to step up.
Yeah, definitely. We've definitely lost a lot of our great guys, unfortunately. So hopefully we can get more playing time from all of them, all the new guys.
Hansen's hitting .278 this season with a .350 on base. A 5'11 freshman from Olympia, Washington, attends Lower Columbia College.
Where's that?
Great question. You'd think I'd look that up by now.
That's okay. He's had very little at-bats. It's okay.
Lower Columbia? All right, Wirtzy's on it. Our color commentator, researcher, producer, director. That ball gets away. Foyer has another 90 feet.
Nice.
Well, Baca was able to pick off Porter in that first inning. But that pickoff move just goes underneath the glove of Quinn Ludvigsen. So now Hansen's got the first run of the ball game in scoring position and nobody out. That's going to draw Ludvigsen up into the grass. He squared the bunt the first pitch he saw. See what he does here. Long look in from Baca. Now he comes set.
Don't act like you're going to pick him off a second.
Ground ball left side right to Farwell. Goes across the diamond, takes him off the bag, and he's safe at first.
Oh, let's go. Let's go. First baseman likes to get too hot over there. Am I allowed to say anything negative about the team?
You're all good. We're
Sorry,
homers
chat.
up
Sorry,
here.
chat.
We're homers up here. But Ty Farwell's throw goes a bit wide. Ludvigsen able to corral it, but not able to get back, and that's going to draw the Oahe coach out of the dugout and at least the conversation.
I fear, AJ, that's going to be my biggest learning curve if I become an LSU sideline girl, is that I cannot talk badly about the other team.
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
I think I need my own special podcast where I can let it fly.
There you go. You know what? That's where a lot of diehard fans are able to get their opinions out there.
Exactly. Yeah, I'll take calls. I'll take phone calls.
Absolutely.
Just let everybody just go off just rage on my podcast. That would be the greatest thing ever.
Well, there you go. So during the week when you're not doing sideline reporting for the football team, you host your podcast.
My rage podcast. Absolutely.
Your rage podcast. Now we got to come up with names for it. What would you call a podcast about LSU? The Tiger's Den?
That's a good one because that also implies like raging. I
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
I'm gonna steal that.
Go for it.
You heard it here first.
There you go. If it goes viral, it's because of me.
Exactly.
Here's Lucas Torelli. He struck out looking his first time up. His first game back after taking about a week off. And he's been an everyday starter since he's gotten here. is the league leader on base percentage with a .554.
Wow.
He's got 2 on and nobody out in a 2-0 count. Corners are in for the zap. Trying to keep the first run off the board. Now, Megan, you've been here since day one.
Yes, day one.
Have watched the majority of the games. Of course, on the road, sometimes it's a little tough to catch up.
And the setup is never as good as what we got here. Sorry.
Hyping up our own setup.
Yes.
Shout out.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what has been one of the most exciting things that you've seen from this team this season?
It was definitely the walk-off. I mean, that was awesome. Just to, like, see the JJ's pitching right before. I was standing right by the dugout, him coming in just, like, screaming and, like, let's go, we need to score a run right here. Just, like, screaming, you know, getting everybody hype. And then just after that at-bat and Phoenix hitting that walk-off when he, like, just got here, man, I couldn't imagine anything better, honestly, for to secure the championship title. I mean, not the title, but
the first half.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a moment that I think it's going to be hard to forget.
Yeah, I totally agree. It was like giving me like LSU vibes, you know, like when you go to like a real game and like, you know, they're really in it. Like you can feel the energy in the crowd, you can feel the energy in the players, so it was awesome.
And now, of course, we're in the second half, but we know our spot is in the playoffs.
Yeah.
What should the mindset be for this team? Of course, you don't want to take the foot off the gas pedal with so many guys leaving and new guys coming in. What's something that this team can work on in the second half before the playoffs?
Yeah, it definitely gives you a feeling of like a security blanket, of course. You know, like you don't have to just go sicko mode on the field.
Sicko mode. I love it.
That's part of the podcast as well. But, like, that doesn't mean, like you said, that doesn't mean that we just, like, slack off and, like, we're okay with losses. Like, we can't just not care because then when we get to the championship, we're going to be terrible. So you got to find – this lineup has to, like, find each other a little bit better since we made so many replacements. They need to find where they fit best and just figure out that spot so that they can be great at that when we do get to the finals. Especially
with a lot of the new guys. You know, they're stepping into spots that have been manned for the first half of the season. We talked about second base a lot. Of course, Peyton Fort was the guy that was penciled in and night out. He's gone. It's been a revolving door over there.
Yeah. And, second and third, and then that, like, switches first, too. It's just, like, a lot of, like, the infield that needs, you know, they got to find their groove and find their groove with each other, I really feel like. So hopefully we'll get that. I mean, it's only been, like, 3 games, so we'll give them a little bit since third base left. But
yeah, shout out Nick Work. Did great work over there at third base.
Yes.
Thanks, Wortsy. What was also great at the plate was arguably one of the fastest guys on the team until this guy at the plate started getting more playing time, and I think he's already stolen that title.
Absolutely. Isaac's got the wheels for sure. Look at that. That was a great hit.
First run comes in to score. Here comes another. And it's a 2-run single for Isaac Martinez.
He's definitely been finding his groove a little bit more since he's been allowed the playing time, I feel like.
He's been primarily in left field, and that is where he is tonight, but also has great range at second base. And it looks like he's going to be pinch ran for here. Trying to see who that is down there taking his spot. Is that Sam?
Oh.
Looks like Sam Kwapnowski is going to come in for Martinez.
I know he's been, his knee was bothering him a little bit when he was sprinting, so I guess might as well save it for.
Well, he comes through in a big way. First pitch to Clay Porter is called a strike. Well, perfect timing for Isaac to not only show off the wheels, but the bat as well. A chopper that just got over the head of Baca.
Yeah, it's a pretty short team. I feel like if they had a little height on them, they maybe would have gotten that, but he's using it to his advantage, so worked out perfectly.
Not everybody can be 6'8" like Agadal.
Yeah, that is very true.
Got to give some love to us short kings.
Yeah, short king love.
Clay Porter walked his first time up, but was picked off at first in that first inning. Fouled away. Now, a lot of the guys on this team has a little bit of a more old-fashioned mindset when it comes to the plate.
Yeah.
Not a lot of batting gloves.
Nope.
You see a little bit of protection here and there with the shin guards and the elbow guards. But for the most part, a lot of guys don't use batting gloves.
It is interesting. I've never even thought about that, but you're very right. And they don't have, like you said, all the protection what they're taking off right before they everybody stayed. Wise.
Very wise. Fielder's choice keeps Porter on base. Quap is out at second. Torelli moves over to third. So that's runners on the corners for Jordan Bowman. And just one out.
Yeah, we had a pretty rough game last night, so hopefully we're kind of getting our groove back a little bit and telling the Zap what we're made of.
It felt like a game that we were just waiting for that inning for the bats to come alive. It feels like every game there is one inning that the Squatch.
Sorry, that did not look like a strike to me, I fear.
Called a strike anyway on the outside corner. But it always feels like there's one inning where the Squatch pile on 5, 6, 7 runs. And they don't just take the lead, they bury the other team.
100%.
Just never found that last night.
Yeah, no, I fear that we were a little tired. We've just been on like a long streak, so hopefully maybe these 2 days we'll kind of rest up and recover, because I know we got the Spuds coming up, and that'll be some real baseball. Not like this isn't real baseball, but I'm sorry. I forgot we got other fans on here. Sorry, Zap. But yeah, it'll be, we got to really dial in.
Well, the Oahe Zap have certainly been a hot team as of recently. Porter takes out for a second. The throw down is not in time. Good throw by Codina behind the dish, but Porter able to swipe second base, and that takes away the double play as well. Now Bowman has a couple of runners in scoring position in a 2-0 ball game after the 2-run single from Isaac Martinez.
That was a good play. I definitely thought. Good thing Porter's got wheels.
Another one of those new additions that's been making an impact early and often. Trying to help out the Squatch bounce back. It was the first time since late May that Spearfish had lost back-to-back games.
Yeah, it's been a long time, and it definitely, I feel like the team was fed up. I feel like there's even a different kind of energy today, that they were just annoyed with those losses. So hopefully we're really taking it on and making changes.
And it was a conversation last night, too, amongst the interns and Eric, the GM/owner. It's not quite a wake-up call, but it's to ground yourself as well.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it, ground yourself, because, like you said, it's not a wake-up call because we made it, but, come on.
1-2 on Bo. Little number to the shortstop. Picks it up and retires. Bo Woody picks up an RBI as Torelli comes in to score. Sacrifice ground out. Also moves Porter to third. And here is Owen Michelson. Owen is 1 for 1 today. Had a single in the second. Was able to get around to third, but could not score. First pitch on Michelson. Lifted down the right field line, but foul. Just over the Sasquatch bullpen.
I was going to say, I thought it was ending up in there.
Pick up a new baseball. And Michelson's just been a fun kid to watch this year, behind the dish, throwing out guys.
I was about to say at bat and behind the plate, absolutely.
And it felt like he was due for a couple of big games, and he has as of recently. He's on a 4-game hit streak.
Nice.
He's the definition of hitting the ball hard but is not finding grass, but that has started to change recently.
Need to see a home run from him. That would the place go a little insane, I fear.
He had the first home run of the season.
Oh, really? It was him?
It was Owen.
Nice.
That was back in late May against the Prospects in that first game against Nebraska. He's got 5 doubles on the year as well, 18 RBIs, and has been hit by a pitch 8 times. He is the second guy on the team to have that number. Him and Quap are tied
wow.
For the team lead in hit by pitches with 8.
So when you get a hit by pitch, does that have anything to do with the batter, or is that just unlucky pitching?
That's just unlucky pitching right there. Unless you have a magnet in your back pocket like Carson Rather did that one game where he got hit by a pitch 3 times.
Oh, I know. That was crazy.
Carson's mom.
Does he lead the team in hit by pitches? Do you know who does?
It's Michelson and Quap.
They're tied.
Yeah, they're tied for
said
the
that, my
team
bad.
lead. But Carson's mom actually ended up texting him or calling him and said, "Hey, get that magnet out of your back pocket. Need you to stay healthy."
Yeah, no, for real. Meatball, as they lovingly call him.
2-2. Breaking ball. Called strike 3, and Owen is not happy with that, as that looked up and way in. And it's a backwards K for Estevan Baca. But the Squatch tack on 3 in the bottom of the 3rd, and they take the first lead of the ball game, 3-0. Will Furry back in the mound when we come back.
So raise a glass to the boys on the field, with Squatch juice in hand, fate is sealed. In Spearfish we trust, our spirits unchained. Under the stars, champions proclaim.
Are you looking for a place where you can find 22 beers on tap, cold brew, refreshing summer drinks, excellent food, and a patio with a relaxing fire pit? Lucky's 13 will give you what you're searching for. Lucky's 13 Pub, inside the Holiday Inn, just off exit 14. Leading off the top of the 4th inning for the Oahe Snap. Number 2, shortstop Kevin Frazier.
First pitch from Furry is in for a strike against the leadoff hitter, Gavin Frazier. Will has faced the minimum so far. He's allowed 1 base runner. It was Andrew Phillips an inning ago, but Emiliano Curiel ground into a double play. So Furry has only faced 9.
Let's go.
And there's another punch out.
He is hot.
Make that 2 strikeouts on the day. It's been mostly the weak contact that he has that's really helped him today. Outside of the walk, I mean, everything's been in the zone and missing a lot of barrels. Here's Aiden Johnson, who was his first strikeout victim back in the 1st inning. Now, is there anything today, Meg, that you've seen from Will that's really had him dialed in?
I wish that I could say so, but I fear that I was trying to find competitors for our Sasquatch competition for the first 2 innings, so I couldn't really watch him pitch. But, I mean, clearly he's like all locked in right now. I mean, that last strikeout was great, so.
Well, let's talk about Mr. Sasquatch night.
Yes, that is the theme tonight. So we have to find 4 to 5 big dudes with hairy chests and that are willing to participate in our silly little games. They get free beer, so win-win. I don't know.
That sounds like a pretty good deal to me. Pull down the third base line, but foul. So what are some of the things that they need to do to try and win the title of Mr. Sasquatch?
So we have a chugging contest, a beer chugging contest. One of our interns, actually, that you've probably seen, Cooper, he's a part of it as well. We have a hairy chest competition, and then we have like a little Sasquatch call/mating dance.
A mating dance?
Yeah, that one is the hardest to convince people to do, I fear. But luckily I have some, like they're good sports, so.
Have you already told them what they're expected to do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So they do know what they're in for.
Well, this is going to be fun then. If you haven't made it out to the ballpark yet this season, we've got fun stuff like that planned every single night. So head to the website, pick up your tickets.
And if you ever want to play any games, I'm your girl. Come up to me. I will never say no.
She's running around all the time. So if you want to get on the field and participate, just come find Meg. That's the second walk allowed by Furry, just the second base runner. Brings up Ty Farwell.
Our beer batter. We've had some luck with our beer batters recently. We've gotten some strikeouts, getting us $2 off beer for the inning, but hopefully we can keep up that trend with Ty.
So does that deal include the interns?
I fear not.
Ah, dang it.
What's going on? Okay.
Bowman steps on the bag for out number 2.
Nice.
On the slow roller right to him, brings up Jake Daly.
I like Bowman at first. I think he was a little shaky. At first base. I think he was a little shaky yesterday, but I think he's going to come into it nicely.
Especially with Seth Nelson going down with an injury. Still not sure if he's going to be able to come back this season.
Unfortunately, it is looking doubtful, I've heard. So
that's what I've heard as well. It'll be important for Bowman to be able to play first base. That's his natural position when he's playing on the field and not pitching. It is first base. And then he's also had Kyle Finn over there as well.
Unfortunately, I'm being summoned. Okay, bye.
Thanks for coming up here, Megan.
Bye, you guys.
Jake Daly in a 1-1 count after Johnson moved over on the ground out. Line drive down the right field line. Quap catches up to it for out number 3. Great play out there and right. Excuse me, that was Karsten Hansen. Or no, that was Sam. Karsten moved over to left after Quap came in for Martinez. So that was Quap who made the nice play and keep the Zap off the board for the first time tonight. The Zap had 4 reach the plate, but still nobody has crossed home. 3-0 Squatch, bottom of the 4th when we come back.
So surprising. So untamed. So much historical fame. So much to see, hear, smell, taste, enjoy. So pack your bags. Hit the road. Strike gold. Deadwood is waiting. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
Some free samples of Squatch Juice going out to the fans tonight. Thanks to Squatch Juice for being our Sasquatch sponsor for tonight. It is good stuff. I bought a variety pack. You get 30 packets in the variety pack. 4 different flavors. Put that with about 20 ounces of water. Energy and focus. Leading off the bottom of the 4th inning for the Spearfish Sasquatch, number 8, designated hitter,
Welcome back to Black Hills Energy Stadium. 3-0 Squatch in the bottom of the 4th. Leading things off is Chase Scott, Wilson Kiefer, and Ben Foyer. Scott hits a line drive to left center, and that'll be a leadoff single. Great way to start off the 4th. Chase Scott is aboard. Brings up Wilson Kiefer. 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. First pitch is called a strike on the inner half of the plate. I believe we have a new pitcher on the mound for the Zap. This ball gets away. Scott has second. He's going to try third as the ball found the backstop. The throw down is going to get him in time. Chase tried to stretch it out as the catcher couldn't find the ball. Noah Codina back there. He was looking around, and Chase saw that, thought he could maybe stretch it into 180 feet, but was gunned down. Now Kiefer's at the plate with nobody on. We do not have a name on the new Zap pitcher. We'll get you that here in a second. He's not listed on the roster, so we're going to have to go elsewhere to try and find him. At least the roster that we were given up here. That one skips away. Yeah, we're going to have to do some... okay, here we go. Connor Hammonds, 10 Southwest Baptist University. He has thrown 5 innings this season. Just trying to figure out exactly who this kid is.
Yeah, it's always tough when the new pitchers come in, especially in summer ball. We don't know much about him. Sometimes our coaches don't know much about him.
Well, he's had a pretty good couple of games on the mound, a 0.00 ERA with a .6 whip. Has 4 strikeouts to 1 walk, and has worked a full count against Kiefer. His last appearance was against the Plainsmen last week. Kiefer, soft liner to second, picks it up on a short hop and makes the play. That's Aiden Johnson. Here's Ben Foyer with nobody on and 2 down.
Foyer, as we talked about, mentioned his love for defense last night. Has had a pretty solid bat. We talked about him having one of the only triples on the Sasquatch team this year.
First pitch pulled down the third base line. Bad hop on Farwell. Picks it up, fires across the diamond. Not in time.
There's some speed from Foyer right there. We know that Martinez might be labeled as the #1 fastest guy, but on any given day, Ben Foyer with a good jump can get there in just about the same time. Of course, a little bobble from the third baseman never hurts either.
Well, it certainly didn't help that that ground ball hit perfectly on the lip of the grass. And what looked like was just going to be a soft chopper right to Farwell turned into a hot shot to him as it took off after hitting the lip. Here is Karsten Hansen.
And we thought it was Hansen for a minute, but it was Quap with the really nice catch out in right field. Of course, that's where Hansen started earlier on in the game, moving some outfielders around and getting them some reps in different positions.
Going to make the change in my book here defensively. I mean, it looked like Quap when I made the call, and I looked down. I was like, wait, Carson was out there in the first inning.
Right.
But forgot that Quap had come in for Martinez. So Hansen moved over to left for him. Hopefully Isaac's okay. He had that base hit.
Yeah, I was talking to Cooper Smith to our right when you and Megan were on the mic, and I asked him what he thought about Isaac. And from what Cooper said and from the information he got relayed, Isaac might have tweaked a little something running yesterday. Nothing too crazy, but he was still hitting. But once he got into the base pass, wanted to make sure that somebody else could take a full 90.
Hopefully nothing that will hinder him too much down the stretch. As we've said, easily probably one of the fastest guys on the team. Need his legs in the playoffs. 2-2. Ground ball up the middle. Fielded by Johnson, goes to second for out number 3. The Squatch still lead 3-0, but put up a goose egg in the 4th. Connor Hammonds, good first inning of work. Top of the 5th when we come back.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jet Rogers at Peak Family Chiropractic and Sports Performance. We all take different paths in life. That's why we utilize multiple different treatments here at Peak. Our main treatment is our high-level chiropractic adjustment, but we also emphasize the use of cupping, scraping, vibration massage, trigger point therapy, and active care to promote movement, strength, mobility, and most of all, pain relief. Why travel to multiple locations when you can have total wellness under one roof? Stop in today and let's get you to your peak.
Will Furry has been dealing on the mound. He's thrown 41 pitches through 4 innings of work. Starts off the 5th with a ball just outside. Garen Gledhill digs in. He grounded out to second base his last time up. Here's a line drive up the middle that sneaks through. And that'll be the first base hit of the night for the Zap.
Yeah, they haven't been too active at the plate so far. 1 hit to just 5 from the Sasquatch. Squatch obviously got 3 runs. It was funny, last night they only had 1 more hit than the Squatch, but they obviously had a heck of a lot more runs than Spearfish did.
Yeah, 9 runs on 11 hits. A much different story tonight, though. Here is Quinn Ludvigsen. First pitch is upstairs. And it's always funny when a team is as red hot as the Zap have been. They've won 7 of their last 8, and they put together a performance last night against a really good bullpen, and they come out and are now struggling to hit against Furry. This one's a high fly ball to deep right center. Going back is Torelli, and he makes the catch deep in the gap. The throw to first is going to be caught by Bowen, and he tags him out. What a play by Lucas Torelli in center. One, he had to make the catch, and then a heck of a throw, and Bowman tags him out. Double play.
Oh
8-3.
my gosh.
Holy cow. It was crazy enough that he ran it down, let alone to throw him out at first. Wow.
Both Zap players took off their helmets and tipped their cap out to Torelli. A typical good class baseball play right there.
Here's Codina deep to right center. This one's a little bit easier for Torelli, and he helps out on all 3 outs this inning. But a highlight reel play for Lucas Torelli. You probably won't see a much better play in center field than that. Had to run about a mile to catch up to it and threw him out at first. 5 pitches this inning for Will Furry, his least amount tonight, and he has thrown 46 through 5 innings of work.
Shout out to the world so they know my sweet baby loves me so. She got me going, yeah, she turns me on. And she loves me, yeah, she loves me, and it blows my mind.
Hey, nice play.
Yeah, it blows my mind.
Well, the man who might be on Sports Center tonight is coming to the plate, Lucas Torelli. Ran down a high fly ball deep into the gap in right center, made a basket catch, and then threw out the runner on first for an incredible 8-3 double play. Reminds you of Laureano when he used to play for the Oakland Athletics, running down a catch in left center and on the fly throwing out a guy at first. Ramon Laureano, one of the biggest arms in the big leagues, and now Torelli with a very similar play in center.
Yeah, making that play is hard enough. Making that throw is, in the same breath, by the way, is even harder.
Checks his swing, but he does go around. It's 1-2. I mean, he had to run a mile to catch up to it.
Yeah.
And then turning around on the fly, throws him out at first. Great job by Bowman to keep it in front and tag him out. But you won't see anything much better than that.
No, no. That's a low catch probability.
1-2 is well outside.
Reminds me of a little guy that I know that might have made the All-Star team by the name of Pico Armstrong.
I was just, I said Ramon Laureano, but if you want to say PCA, then.
No, that was sweet. Just reminds me of him because, they both got some nice swagger. They're not overly confident. I think that they know how good they are, but they're not, bragging too much about it. Of course, PCA's got a little buzzhead swagger to him, but some really nice catches from both those guys, and that one right there from Torelli was insane.
Ground ball right side, picked up by Ludvigsen. The play at first is in time. Hammond's able to beat Torelli to the bag for out number 1.
Let's go back to Furry real fast. That inning started out with a runner on the bag with no outs. So you're thinking there's no way this is going to be a short inning. All of a sudden, the very next pitch turns into one of the craziest double plays we've seen. And then a 1 or 2, I think it was just the first pitch, the next out to Torelli again. So 5 pitches, that's 46 as you mentioned through 5.
It's unreal what Furry's doing right now. Quap pops it up down the left field line, giving chases. Farwell underneath it, makes the catch. Didn't even get fully turned around and still somehow is able to reach up and make the catch over his head.
And he didn't even make it like a basket catch. He
No.
made it like he was catching a pop fly in the outfield when it's coming to you. That was an interesting way to go about making that catch, but who am I to judge?
Couple of nice defensive plays this inning. Here's Clay Porter. First pitch finds the zone. Well, if you like defense and pitching, this is the game for you. A great start from Estevan Baca. And now Connor Hammond, who's just making his 3rd appearance out of the pen this season, is an out away from throwing back-to-back goose eggs in this ball game. Fouled straight back. Porter today is 1 for 1. He walked in the first but was picked off. And then he, technically he's 0 for 1. He grounded into a fielder's choice in the 3rd. Was able to get all the way around to third base, but could not score.
That ball just on the outside corner. Got a little lefty tail to it.
Breaker gets the swing and miss, and he goes down for out number 3. A 1-2-3 inning for Connor Hammonds, and the score is still 3-0. We are flying through 5, top of the 6th when we come back. 3-0 Squatch, top of the 6th. But first, let's go around the league with Luke Layden. Luke, a good game here, but what else is going on in the Independence League?
Right now, 2 games going on right now. We got the Fremont Move versus Nebraska Prospects. Nebraska up 3-0 as of right now. Fun fact about them, last night the Prospects were up 6-5 going into the bottom of the 8th, gave up 10 runs.
Wow.
Them going on to lose 17-9.
Boy.
So hopefully a bounce-back game for them today.
Yeah, tough stretch for them these last couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah. And then also we got the Plainsmen versus the Spuds right now. The Spuds up 1-0.
Awesome. Well, the Spuds have been red hot, and they're coming in next in a few days here, so we'll keep an eye on that game down the stretch.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for coming on, Luke.
Thank you.
That's Around the League with Luke Layden, keeping us updated with everything going on in the Independence League. It'll be fun to see the Casper Spuds come through. They finished second in that first half, and they were kind of a come-from-behind team. The Sodbusters were really the team to beat for most of the first half. Then the Squatch got hot, ended up taking first place. And at first we thought the Sodbusters were going to be our biggest competition down the stretch and had the best chance of overtaking us if anything went wrong in that prospect series. But they lost a few games, and all of a sudden the Spuds jumped up into second place.
Yeah.
And they have been rolling this season.
They really have. They really have. Spuds, obviously, the former champs last year, so always been a pretty tough team. The Prospects are a weird one. They were good for a couple years, got a new coaching change as a head coach, and now they're only traveling with, less than 15 guys normally, not many pitchers. We saw a lot of position pitchers there against them, but nonetheless, Spuds rolling, and Oahe Zap playing pretty well in the last couple of games, too.
Well, despite Will Furry's incredible start, he had thrown 46 pitches through 5 innings. His night is done. So the 17-year-old Phoenix Brandt will take the mound. He's an incoming freshman, standing at 6'5" from San Diego, California, is going to attend the University of San Diego alongside Jayton Greer, who we had for a day before he fractured his collarbone on a foul tip. But Phoenix has made a lot of noise since he's entered, but he'll give up a leadoff single to Andrew Phillips as he pokes it the other way.
Yeah, Phoenix was the hero in Spearfish, and not many people knew his name super well. Of course, now they absolutely know it, but he had the 3-run bomb to walk off that one game and then take the Sasquatch to an automatic bid to the playoffs for the first half of the season.
Making just his second appearance on the mound. He threw 1 inning against the Prospects. I believe it was the day after he hit that walk-off home run. He threw 1 inning, faced the minimum, threw 11 pitches, and had 1 punch-out. But you got to give credit to Will Furry. What a night. First, we'll get a look at this. The throw down to second. Ooh, close play. Boy, that was close. Phillips swipes second base. Another beautiful throw from Michelson on the money, but just late.
Yes, late, but that ball got his foot.
It definitely looked like, again, we are a long ways up here, but from our viewpoint, perfect throw. Whoever caught it didn't have to move very far. Line drive down the right field line, and it stays fair into the corner. Here comes Phillips from second. Curiel is standing up into second with an RBI double.
AJ, I'll tell you something. That last play right there at second on the throw from Michelson. Baseball is a funny sport because second basemen and shortstops, they'll kind of talk to the runner and joke a little bit, and you could tell that they were both laughing about it. So I think even the runner thought he might have been out, but nonetheless, he scores on a nice right down the line. That was probably about whoa, you got it. English language, a foot fair.
Foot fair down the foul line.
Say that a couple times fast.
Ground ball to Porter, picks it up and retires the leadoff hitter Gavin Frazier for the first out. Curiel moves to third, brings up Aiden Johnson, the game-tying run.
AJ, I got a chance to meet Phoenix's dad the one day he was here. He was awesome. He was talking about his son going to San Diego right after this season or after the summer season's over, and being only 17 years old, of course, is pretty crazy. His dad, unfortunately, I believe, did miss the walk-off home run because he was gone that day, but he was there the first game that Phoenix was in a uniform and walking around and testing the waters here in Spearfish, and safe to say he's been able to swim pretty well so far here.
See if he can limit the damage in this 6th inning. Ground ball that hangs foul. But a couple of base hits to open up this 6th inning. And after the Zap have struggled to get base runners on, now they've had a couple and have driven in their first run of the ball game. And a lot of people are probably going to ask, why pull Furry when he's only thrown 46 pitches? Again, it's summer ball, so a lot of these pitchers are going to have pinch counts, and that's probably why Will got pulled. As some fans have probably heard, this is most likely going to be his final start of the summer. Only signed a half summer contract, so he will probably be leaving at the end of the week, if not even earlier.
What a start it was, though.
Absolutely. His best of the season. Chopper to Foyer at short, gloves it, fires to first in time. Good stretch from Bo. Run does come in to score, though, on a sacrifice ground out, and it is 3-2.
So a couple runs here against Phoenix. Obviously, he hasn't given up anything too big. That one shot down the right field line was pretty solid. He's obviously been throwing strikes, so it's hard to complain about putting the ball over the plate right there. Probably just adjusting to these hitters. Of course, as we've mentioned, he's getting a really good advantage, but he is still 17. He has only faced high school hitters before, and all these guys are at least collegiate level.
First pitch to Ty Farwell is upstairs. Let's take a look at the final pitch line from Furry before we completely move to Phoenix. 5 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts on 46 pitches. Great night for Furry, and most likely his final start of the summer.
Yeah, he's got to be proud of that one. He's had that slider that just nicely kind of works its way in there. Tonight we saw that a bunch, and it was just moving beautifully.
Especially against this lineup. Features a few lefties, but a lot of righties, and it moves away from righties, and when he's able to keep it low, it looks so good coming in, but breaks last minute, and boy, did he get a lot of swing and misses out of it and a lot of weak contact. Farwell ahead in the count, 3-0 on Brandt. There's a strike on the outside corner. Farwell is 0 for 2 today with a couple of ground outs to Bowman. Fouled away. Full count, 2 down, nobody on in a 1-run ball game. Farwell is the game-tying run. Here comes the 3-2 in the dirt ball 4.
Fans would love that one. That was the beer batter, which, of course, is a fan favorite here in Black Hills Energy Stadium. Of course, you get $2 off your beer for the next inning, but you'll have to pay full price here for the 6th.
Here's Jake Daly, 0 for 2, a ground out in the 2nd, and a line out to Quappin right in the 4th.
That was a phenomenal play by Quap earlier on.
This one's lifted to shallow center. It drops in. And now 3 hits this inning by the Zap. Moves Farwell into scoring position. He is the game-tying run. The go-ahead's at first.
But let's go to Phoenix now that we've moved past Furry. Again, Furry, phenomenal start, and sad to see him go. But for Phoenix, it really is an advantage, right? At the end of the summer, you're going to say, I've faced a plethora of anywhere from 18 to 22-year-old batters, which cannot be said for most high school players.
Pops out of the glove of Michelson. Runner takes out for third. The throw down goes wide and into left field. Here comes Farwell, and we are tied.
That's one where Michelson has a strong enough arm to possibly get it there on a rope if he can. But honestly, you most likely hold that ball right there. Knowing the probability of that ball going into left field. The funny thing is, you throw it back to first base, you miss. The guy's going to second, maybe third. You throw it to third, you miss. It's just an instant run.
A rough 6th inning for the Squatch. 3 hits, 3 runs, and we are tied. Furry will not be able to earn the win anymore. Aaron Gledhill with the go-ahead run in scoring position. The 1-0. Pushed foul. And all of a sudden this inning has turned into a really important one for both teams, as the Squatch were rolling through 5, but all of a sudden the Zap Bats have woken up. Breaking ball in the dirt.
Yeah, AJ, they had 1 hit coming into this inning. They've had 3 hits now and 3 runs.
Phoenix comes set at the belt. Kicks and fires. Ground ball to Porter, waits for it, picks it up, and throws it on to first. But the damage is done. 3 hits, 3 runs, and we are tied. Bottom of the 6th. Squatch now have some work to do for the first time tonight.
Fight, so raise a glass to the boys on the field, with Squatch juice in hand, fate is sealed. In Spearfish we trust, our spirits unchained. Under the stars, champions proclaim.
Bowman digs in to start off the bottom of the 6th. Hack and a miss on a slow breaker. A 3-run 6th inning for Oahe after they put up goose eggs through the first 5. Another breaking ball can't catch the outside corner. Connor Hammond still on the mound after he relieved Estevan Baca in the 4th inning. Good hold from Bo.
Bowman's had a couple funny stints this season. He's been real hot at times. He's been a little bit down at times. He's consistently had a big bat when he gets a hold of one.
And that's been the biggest thing that he's wanted to work on, is consistency.
Right.
If you have a big bat, but only sporadically, it's hard to continually put a guy in there. But if you can stay consistent with a big bat, obviously that's the dream situation. Drop third strike to throw down, retires Bo, and another strikeout for Hammonds.
General manager for the Sasquatch, Eric Schmidt, said, and I believe maybe you have relayed this to me or somebody did, that Bowman kind of started his college season really hot and then ended it not so hot and came into the summer a little bit on that downslope. Of course, he had the 1 2-home run game and a double that game as well. He also had the other game where he had the walk-off versus the Prospects. But since then, he's still put a decent barrel on the ball. He's been a bit ahead of them, and obviously right there you could see that he's struggling with the off-speed more than anything right now.
That seems to be the scouting report. Throw off speed stuff to Bo. If anything is on a line, it's going to get hit hard. Michelson gets hit on the back foot, and that'll be a free base. Second time he's been aboard tonight.
There's another time for Michelson getting hit. Of course, catchers for the Squatch haven't been, they have not been uncommon arrivals at first by the hit by pitch.
That's Michelson's 9th.
Yeah.
Officially takes sole lead of the hit by pitch stat. Overtakes Quap, who's still at 8. Scott with a big hack and a miss. Chase today is 1 for 2. He flew out in the second, singled to left his last time up in the 4th. Long pause. Here's the 0-1. Pulled left side, but foul. Good hands from Coach Gonzo down there at third.
And last night, as I was taking out some cameras, I saw it in the dugout, Chase Scott talking to assistant coach Ryan Bachman, kind of about that confidence at the plate and what he's doing wrong. And I think Chase has been a little down recently, hoping to get back on that high horse here soon.
Behind in the count, 0-2. That's going to hit him upstairs.
Chase has a couple words for the dugout over there.
I was going to say, he looked back there.
And I don't know what you can say on a hit by pitch. Like, you know, there's some tension in MLB games. I don't know how much you're consciously throwing at a guy or consciously chatting over a hit by pitch in a summer ball game, but nonetheless, obviously some words exchanged from Chase, who, by the way, kind of like Phoenix, one of the younger guys in the team.
Well, now he's trying to stretch out his arm as that one plunked him in a weird spot. It was closer to his neck and shoulder blade area.
Yeah, almost hit that like shoulder blade neck trap area, which is not fun because you get a ball there and you get a little bit of inflammation on that. Let's see, that was his left shoulder probably, so he's fielding with that one.
Slow tapper to the shortstop, flips to second for 1. The turn is in the dirt, and Kiefer beats it out. It'll be a fielder's choice.
It's a nice 90 by Kiefer. I think a good throw right there from the middle infield. He probably gets him. That throw kind of came on a short hop, so not exactly the greatest one, but that was a Sunday hop right there from Kiefer. He kind of just check swinged that guy. Wasn't exactly the hardest foul through he'd probably want there.
Brings up Ben Foyer with runners on the corners and 2 down. They'll check on Kiefer at first. He does have 1 stolen base on the year. Getting limited action after being injured in that first home series. Foyer punches it foul into the bullpen. Watch out.
I think it just hit Jackson. No, that wasn't Jackson Peters. Who was? That was
Evan
Luke. He just hit Evan
boy.
Luke.
Yeah, that got Evan. He's stretching it out. He's already on his way out, dealing with a bit of with arm stuff. Foyer takes a strike on the outside corner. Yeah, this is his last day here, so not fun getting hit by a line drive. Oh, he might have a pretty good bruise.
Yeah, well, he's pulling his – looks like he might have got hit on the rib cage on that throwing side or something. That's where he's pulling it up.
Yeah, they're going to stick some ice on there. 0-2 is up and away. Zapp thought it was there. And really with how big the zone has been tonight, I don't blame them for at least asking.
Yeah, I wouldn't have doubted that one. That one barely missed. It wasn't that high, just a bit out probably. Foyer, of course, not the tallest frame either to hit.
He claims he's 5'10", but as we found out last night, I think that might be a bit of a stretch. Lifts it to left center. Going back is Phillips. He's underneath it for the final out. The Squatch strand a couple of runners on the corners. We're still tied 3 apiece. Top of the 7th when we come back.
2.
Making his Sasquatch debut on the mound is the 6'6 sophomore from Turlock, California. Attends, let me double check, Menlo College. Wesley Payne made 9 appearances last spring for Menlo. Through 20 in the third innings, had 7 strikeouts and 11.07 ERA. And he's now making his debut in Spearfish, relieving Phoenix Brandt, who went 1 inning, allowed 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them were earned, and 1 walk after a phenomenal start by Will Furry. He's certainly the story tonight. 5 innings, 1 hit, 0 runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. But now it'll be Wesley Payne. First pitch misses away. He will face Quinn Ludvigsen to lead off the top of the 7th. Checked his swing. He did go around. It's 1-1. Looking at Payne's season from last year, his longest outing was against Vanguard, where he went 4 1/3. Allowed 4 hits, 3 runs, a walk, and a strikeout. His best was definitely against Jessup University, where he picked up 3 Ks in 3 innings. 2-1. Breaker, swing and a miss, evens the count. Haven't gotten a chance to talk to him yet, as he just got in yesterday. But from first few pitches here, definitely has a pretty nasty breaking ball. Long pause, here's the 2-2. Lifted out high and deep to left center. Hanson's back there to make the catch.
Yeah, it's always fun when you play at a college like that, or looking at some of the teams he's played, obviously Cal State, San Francisco State, but then you get out to Chaminade, who is obviously Rin's team. He played Hawaii High-Low, Fresno Pacific, Hawaii Pacific, so you're playing teams all the way across an ocean, which is pretty cool.
I mean, I'd say if you're playing baseball down in Hawaii, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Of course, that's where Rin actually goes to school, but if you're able to take a trip down there, I mean, you can't be complaining.
No.
Here is Noah Codina, who is 0 for 2 with a couple of flyouts. Tapper over the head of Wesley. Porter charges, picks it up, and no play as Codina's got some wheels. He'll beat out the infield single.
That's always a tough one. I think that happened earlier with Furry, and Porter did make the play. He charged a little bit faster, and that ball didn't have such a high arc. Obviously, that's a tough one to make when you kind of have to wait for that ball to come down from space.
And also with the wheels of Codina.
Absolutely
the right play by Porter just to hold on to it and not risk the ball going into right field and giving the Zap an extra 90 feet. Especially in a tie ball game, late in the game, got to make sure you're not giving up any more free bases. Just 1 error tonight, but that has certainly been the stat that's hurt them the most these last couple of games. Good stop by Michelson. Took a look down there at first. Andrew Phillips tonight walked in his first at-bat, then singled and scored in the 6th. A big 3-run 6th inning for the Zap. Tied it up.
Looking at Payne a little more, obviously, we know there's that Menlo. I'm looking back even before college. He was on the all-tournament team for a couple of tournaments, but he was a preseason All-American in 2024 by perfect game. He hit 84 miles per hour in 2023, and now I believe you said he's up to somewhere around 87.
I've got no idea.
Okay, I thought I heard 87. Maybe I didn't. Who knows?
Uh-oh, there goes the ball into right field on the pickoff attempt. There's the extra 90 feet. He's taken off for third. The throw from shallow right is not in time. Good throw from Quap trying to gun him down. But ultimately, Codina takes an extra 180 feet on the pickoff attempt. That went wide of first.
Every team makes errors, obviously, but I really do think that the consistent factor in some of these Sasquatch losses or closer games is the amount of it's funny, you wouldn't call an error small per se because they all add up, but something like that where you don't have to pick a guy off, and normally when you do, you're hoping it's on target. That ball just sailed and just kept rolling down that fence.
And now he's in trouble of walking Phillips and putting runners on the corners. Infield is in case it's in play. Anything on the ground is coming home. But first, Payne's got to bounce back with a strike. The 3-0 is in the dirt, scoots away from Michelson, but no attempt from Codina. So that makes things interesting with the go-ahead run 90 feet away and Emiliano Curiel at the plate. He doubled his last time up and came in to score. Couple of arms down there warming up in the bullpen. Scott's going to at least talk things over with Payne, who's making his Spearfish debut. Hasn't thrown since I believe that is May 3rd. So nearly 2 months ago down in Hawaii. Trying to find his stuff in a tight ball game. Trying to see who's down there warming up. Looks like Aiden Knowles and well, I don't think the other guy's warming up. I think he's just down there talking with BY.
Yeah, 32. Who's 32 for us right now?
That is Mitch Hamrock.
Yes, so he was talking to BY. Obviously, it is Knowles that's actually warming up. BY fitted out with sunglasses as the sun is already going down. He's always rocking the stealth FBI fit out there in the bullpen.
I mean, even when the sun is down, he's still got to wear the sunnies.
He has to, right? He has to keep that up.
It's the classic BY look.
It is. It is. He's rocking the stealth look. Sherlock Holmes, BY.
First pitch to Emiliano Curiel is a strike.
I always wonder what is said in pitcher-coach meetings because normally you get a pitcher coming out, he just fires a strike. It's like more than half the time.
I think, well, at least for my team in high school, runner takes out for second. They'll throw down to third. Close play. Got him! Holy cow! Owen Michelson with a cannon behind the plate. Look down at second as Phillips took off and catches Codina off the bag. Third base coach comes out and is saying, what are you talking about?
Third base coach is on the field right now. Fully on the field and in an argument right now with the umpire. The runner at third is staying at third.
I mean, it was definitely a bang-bang play. On the target throw from Michelson.
He's kind of challenging. He's going to talk to the home plate umpire, but the home plate umpire does not really have the best look at that.
Especially with a righty up.
No, it is the infield umpire. I don't know. The hard part is, did he get his hand in there? Quite possibly, right? We're not exactly sure.
And they're going to call him out. Great play by Michelson in a huge out, and now Payne is an out away and a strike away from leaving the runner stranded.
There is just one of the most intelligent plays you've seen from a catcher. Michelson knows he's got the cannon to gun a guy out at second that could bring the runner in from third. Instead, checks second with his eyes, fires over to third.
And it's not like Codina was very far off third, but just enough for Michelson to give it a shot. And after he'd already tried to throw out a guy down there but missed, is still confident enough. Payne comes off the mound. The throw to first is in time to get him. Huge play by Owen Michelson to keep it tied, and Payne's the happiest guy on the field because of it. 3-3, bottom of the seventh. We've got a bowl game here in Spearfish.
just go straight to this one.
3-3, bottom of the 7th. Karsten Hansen to lead off the inning for the Squatch. We've had a great defensive game today. A lot of incredible plays all over the field. The pitchers have been phenomenal. Will Furry, a career day, 5 innings of scoreless baseball, only 2 strikeouts, but he only threw 46 pitches in those 5 innings. I mean, he was rolling. But, of course, pitch limit set by colleges ultimately has to get pulled. And then that's when the Zap were able to get on top of Phoenix Brant, scored 3 runs in the 6th inning. But the defense has continued to flash the leather tonight. Some great plays from Lucas Torelli in center field. A great throw from Michelson behind the plate to help with the last inning. And the Zap have made some great defensive plays as well, and their pitching staff has been great. Connor Hammonds is out for another inning of work. He came in the 4th after the 3 runs were led up by Esteban Baca in that 3rd inning, and he has been perfect so far. Full count on Karsten Hansen. Swing and a miss. Down he goes, tipped into the glove of Codina.
And AJ, you touched on it earlier. If you like a defensive game, you like this one. We're bottom 7 right now. It's 7:53 so far in the broadcast. We've only got 2 hours and 10 minutes through almost 7 full innings. Obviously, we started about 30 minutes before, so only about an hour and 40 total minutes of baseball so far through 7 innings.
It's been crazy how quickly we've moved along, but just because how good these pitchers and this defense has been on both sides.
There's been a couple of really short innings. Furry had a 7-pitch inning. He had a 5-pitch inning. He had a 10-pitch inning. Of course, some really nice plays from Torelli. He's at the plate right now.
He walked and scored in the 3rd inning. Outside of that, he's 0 for 2, a backwards K and a ground out on his scorecard.
Regardless of the final here, he'll go back at that one play and look on it fondly.
Yeah, I mean, he ran a long way into the right center gap, made the basket catch, turned around, and on the fly threw out the runner at first who did not tag. There's a strike on the outside corner.
And the tough part of that play is that ball is so far into the gap that it wasn't that he was even thinking about tagging and just took off too early. He took off the second his coach said so, which was about a second into that play.
Popped up, shallow left, in comes Curiel, out goes Frazier, and it's the shortstop who makes the catch.
It's not an easy play right there to have the convergence of all 3 of those guys, third, short, and left field. Of course, some really nice communication from the Zap. Gives them 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. AJ, we're 1 out away from reaching the final 2 innings. It's very light out. Mountains are very much in frame, which is, once again, the most beautiful view in all of the IBL, we think.
It is fantastic. It doesn't get much better than this, especially when the sun starts to set. And it's looking like it's going to be another beautiful night in Spearfish. And we could see some fireworks down the stretch with how this game is going. Sam Kwapnowski takes a strike. Popped out his first time up after relieving Isaac Martinez on the base paths.
And if you want to see some real fireworks, we've also got a game on Saturday, which are going to have real ones on July 5th. Packed game here.
Line drive left center, drops in off the end of the bat. And Kwap rounds first hard. The ball was dropped, but he'll hold up.
That'll be a fun one. And then one of the next games after that is the Ben Zobrist game. Former 2-time World Series champion, former World Series MVP for the Cubs as well in 2016. One of my favorite years I've ever had. That was pretty cool, I'd say.
Yeah, it must be fun to have your team win a World Series.
I wish you could experience it.
Maybe one day the Twins will.
You will. You'll get one of these days.
He's gotta.
Maybe like 40, 50 years from now.
Hopefully I'm still alive.
No, Twins will get one eventually. It's funny how each team will get close and then you just get let on. You know, the Cubs had a decent year the year after and then, of course, went back to shambles when they were, quote-unquote, rebuilding. But this year they're looking pretty solid. They've got Tucker and PCA both in the All-Star game, which is fun to have those guys right alongside Ohtani. They'll probably, Ohtani will be a Hall of Famer soon. Those guys will have to work a little bit harder to get into that book. But
trying to see if Royce Lewis will turn into a big contributor for the Twins. This one pops out, and Kwapnowski has second base. I mean, both Byron Buxton and Royce Lewis were the guys for the Twins when they got drafted, but both have dealt with a lot of injuries. And it was really exciting when Carlos Correa signed with the Twins, but still waiting for him to show off what he had with the Astros.
Yeah. Well, he has one thing he didn't have there, which is a buzzer under his jersey. Anyways.
Or someone banging a trash can.
Right.
Maybe that's what we need to do, help him out.
Yeah, you should go to a game and bring your own.
There we go. Porter shoots it foul.
Bring your own garbage bin day, and at the pregame, you guys will develop calls.
There we go.
You know, couple hits in the side. You know, lower vibrato type. Yeah, you get it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. That was a funny year of baseball. I never thought I'd see, you know, corruption that much. Of course, we also lived through Deflategate with the Patriots, so
that was an interesting time.
It's pretty crazy putting cameras up in other stadiums and physically and literally taking the air out of the football so you could get a better grip on it, and also, of course, not fumble as easily. You got an entire, you know, strong hand on that guy.
We've lived through an interesting time in sports.
We really have.
We're just 21. Line drive to left field, drops in. Here comes Quap from third, gets the windmill from Gonzo. The play at the plate is not in time. Clay Porter comes through, and the Squatch retake the lead. Talk about wheels. Sam Kwapnowski goes second to home on a ball that just snuck over the shortstop's head, and Clay Porter, big-time swing for a big-time player, and the Squatch are up 4-3.
Really nice piece of hitting by Clay right there, just popping it in the spot that he needed it. Sam's got some decent wheels, wasn't too concerned, didn't have to get down there at home or anything, just came in standing up. 4-3, as you mentioned. It's weird the hits are similar as they were last night. 7 for the Squatch, 5 for the Zap, only a 1-run difference so far. Some errors and some funky double plays have been the byproduct of all this, but another opportunity for Bowman here.
Looking to extend the Spearfish lead. He's 0 for 3 tonight, had a sacrifice ground out in the third. Outside of that, a line out and a K. Digs in with Porter on second after he advanced on the throw in from left. Talk about coming through, and Sam relieving Isaac Martinez. We talked about him in the pregame, how him and Finn weren't in the lineup, but within the first few innings, Quap was right back on the field. Here's a ground ball to short, throw across the diamonds in time. But the Squatch come through. Clay Porter a clutch RBI single, and they retake the lead. 4-3, 2 innings left here, and Spearfish don't go anywhere.
At Monument Health, we keep going so you can keep going. With advanced orthopedic care, technology, innovations, and treatment. So keep exploring, keep making memories, keep going with Monument Health as your partner. With the area's only ROSA robot, Monument Health offers a more personalized and precise procedure, customized for your anatomy. Get going with Monument Health, your partner for advanced orthopedic care.
Now pitching for the Sasquatch is the center fielder who made the play of the game by far, Lucas Torelli. Second pitch is upstairs, and it is 1-1. Now joining us up in the press box is Chase Scott. Chase, you were in the starting lineup, but now come out because Torelli's on the mound, so Aaron Neal slides into center.
Yep, so he loses the DH spot, and Aaron comes in and hits for me pretty much, and then if Luke finishes the game or he keeps in it for himself, and whoever else comes in hits for Luke. Hopefully we don't need someone to come hit for Luke next inning, but
I mean, you guys have it's been a fun game so far.
Very.
Obviously would love to see the runs pile up a little bit more, but it's always fun to have a close game.
Yes, very, especially after the stretch we had where, I mean, we killed everybody we played. You know, it's good to be back in some close ball games.
Full count on the leadoff hitter, Gavin Frazier. Pops it straight up, and it will get over our heads. Now, I got to ask about Torelli's play in center.
Yeah,
unreal.
Unbelievable. I mean, each day Luke steps on the field, he has something. You just know he's going to do something great that day. I mean, he always has that star potential like we just saw, whether it's with the bat or on the field or with his arm. And we got to see both of them, luckily, in this game. And, you know, it's a huge momentum killer right there. Having leadoff guy on and then going to pretty deep right center fly ball that Luke ends up catching on the wall, makes a great play, and then throws the guy out at first base. I mean, that's what big-time players do. So,
I mean, I don't know about you, but it reminded me of that play from Ramon Laureano a few years ago when he caught it in the left center gap and threw out a guy on the fly.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun to watch, and as he comes in here to pitch, I mean, he chucks it. It's he's great. He's a great player, great teammate to have.
He's in the transfer portal right now. I know he's had some conversations with some Division I guys. Do you know anything about where he is with that decision?
Kind of. I'm going to let him kind of talk about it when he decides to. But,
Fair enough.
Know, we got to hit for 2 or 3 days with North Carolina scouts, Gonzaga scouts, and a couple other D1s watching our BPs and stuff like that, which is always fun. It's fun to have those guys out here. Even though they're not watching you, it's just it brings a different. It's just fun, and you know you root for Luke. He's one of those guys you root for, and it's great to see him talking to those schools because he deserves it.
Do you know if he's going to try and be a two-way player?
I'm not sure yet. I haven't really talked to him too much about it. I mean, I think he has the tools to do both. Upper 8s to low 9s from the bump, and pretty filthy. So
yeah, talk about filth. There's another strikeout. That is his 9th on the year, making his 4th appearance on the mound. He has a 1.42 ERA and a 1.58 WHIP. Now has 9 strikeouts to just 2 walks. Brings up Ty Farwell. Now you were, of course, in the starting lineup. Got on base a couple of times. One certainly didn't feel as good as the other.
You know, it's still get on base. You know, take one for the team and jog down there, especially in an 0-2 count. Helps me out a little bit, getting hit in the shoulder. So can't complain about it.
How is it feeling? I saw you stretching it out.
You know, it's feeling pretty good. You know, it got me kind of on shoulder blade a little bit, hip bone. So, but you know, it's feeling good, feeling fine.
Good. Well, it certainly feels good when Torelli puts up a 1-2-3 inning in the 8th. Squatch lead it 4-3. See if they can build on this lead when we come back.
Do you know the locals' choice for gaming excitement? It's the Lodge at Deadwood Gaming Resort. With new games arriving every month, our selection of slot machines is the freshest in town. You can always find a game with our card tables open 24 hours a day. And parking is free and easy at the Lodge, with the area's largest free parking only steps away from our front door. Enjoy spacious and comfortable gaming at the Lodge at Deadwood, the locals' choice.
Owen Michelson to lead off the bottom of the 8th in a one-run ball game. New pitcher for the Zap is Josh Porter. Attends Fullerton College, making his 7th appearance of the year. He's thrown 23 1/3, has an ERA of 5.40 and a 1.59 whip, 21 strikeouts to 14 walks. He'll face Michelson, Niels, and Kiefer. First pitch is in the dirt. Now, Chase, we got to ask about Furry's start. We were talking about it in the break, but 5 innings, 46 pitches,
yeah, I mean,
unreal.
It's fun to watch. I mean, he absolutely dealt. I mean, fastball, changeup, he dealt. It's awesome to watch. You know, he got in the zone early, getting down 2-0, and then getting the pop-up and just locked in from there after the first out. You know, great to see I think he had a walk going into like the first or second inning. I think it's a double play ball right after.
High fly ball deep to center. Chasing it down is Andrew Phillips for the first out.
You know, and it's just a great boost for the offense when your starter goes out and shoves like he did. I mean, there's not a lot of pressure knowing he's going to come back out and just shut him down. It makes it way easier to do your job.
I mean, the first inning, he threw 7 pitches, came back out through 9 and then 10.
Yeah.
And the last inning, the 5th inning, he threw 5 pitches.
Yep.
Unreal.
It's great to watch him. You know, Will, another great teammate, great guy to be around. Another easy guy to root for. It's great watching him go out and just shove like he did.
Now, I don't know if you know this, Chase, but Will's kind of got a weird thing. He wears ankle socks.
I know, yeah. You know, every time I see him in the gym, he's with his ankle socks on. And
I just don't get it.
Yeah, you know, I'm not sure. It helps the tan line a little bit, so.
I mean, sure, but he's still got the long pants on.
Yeah, I'm not.
I mean, I don't mind the ankle socks, like if outside of baseball, but when you're on the field, I feel like that just hurt your ankles.
Yeah, that's a little odd.
That hit Neil's bat?
It did.
Oh, boy. Couldn't get the bat down in time, even though it was thrown behind him. Neil's moved to center after Torelli moved into pitch, so he's taking your spot in the batting order.
I like to see him just kind of lock in right here and go do what he does.
Hitting .383 on the season.
It's a great leave.
A .446 on base, has 10 RBIs, 19 runs, 4 doubles, a triple, and a home run on the year. 5 stolen bases as well.
Yep.
3-1.
You know, he's another guy in the lineup that just at any point in time could do something special, and it's awesome to watch.
Here comes Wilson Kiefer, the third baseman. Reached on a fielder's choice his last time up. Was 0 for 3 after a strikeout and a ground out in the 2nd and 4th. First pitch. Lined, left center gap, drops in for a base hit. Niels has wheels. He's on his way to third. He'll get the signal from Gonzo. Here he comes to the plate, and there will be no play. RBI double for Wilson Kiefer.
That's a great swing by Wells, jumping after the first pitch fastball and, you know, getting every bit of it.
How about Niels going first to home?
Yep.
And they're going to check at third. The Zap got hit with that yesterday.
Yep.
It actually went against them.
Yeah. You know, talking to Diego about it, Diego saw the guy before, kind of same situation happen, barely touch it. And so he wanted to pay a little extra more attention and ended up asking the umpire if the umpire was paying attention to that. Umpire said, of course I am. You know, we were able to get out of an inning, and that was a big play of the game.
Now, you've played on both corners of the infield this season. Is that something that you're consciously thinking about when you're out there?
Yes and no. I mean, it's just great ball knowledge by Diego. I mean, it's kind of off the bat, you're reading ball, and you kind of want to watch the ball. But great job by Diego, just making sure to lock in and watch. Again, great play by him.
We were all a little confused at first when we were up here because, of course, normally that's a play that you check on if the runners missed a tag up.
Yep.
But Quap didn't catch it, so we're like, what could have that been?
Yeah, so he just missed the bag is what ended up happening, which is nice. I mean, it
helps you out big time.
Yeah, big time. So I like to see Benny just do a job right here.
Poke it over the infield as they're all in right now.
Yep.
Up on the grass with Kiefer on third in a 5-3 ball game. Foyer takes a strike.
It's good seeing him get a pitch to hit, too, something he knows he can do damage with, and he's waiting and being patient. Great AB right here by Ben.
And 3 hits against the Plainsmen earlier this week. And a 2-1 count. Here's the pitch. Hack and a miss. Evens the count.
Yep, good swing. So see Ben shorten up a little bit and, do what he does best is kind of go out the other way with it. See the ball deep and go hit something hard that way.
Looks like Jackson Peters will pitch the 9th. He's down in the bullpen and ready to go. No surprise there. The 2-2. Breaker misses up. Kirsten Hansen on deck.
Another great thing with Peters, too, is some of the schools ended up coming this past week, and Fluke also came for Peters. And, it seems like he had a great turnout, pitched really well both days he threw, and just another great guy to root for and just be glad he has the opportunities he does.
Now, I've got to ask, for the first time since late May, you guys lost back-to-back games.
Yeah.
What was the conversation last night after the loss?
Just go back to kind of having fun, stop pressing. I mean, we know we're better than everybody in the league, and we know we have the talent to kind of to go run it again, and just let us have fun. I mean, it's no need to press. We all trust in each other. We all know we can do great things. Just kind of go play our baseball. Don't stoop down to other people's levels.
Especially knowing that you do have your spot in the playoffs already. Does that help with knowing that, hey, we can bounce back coming up?
Yeah, it does. It just takes a lot of pressure off, just being able to go kind of play your baseball for the second half.
Good hold from Ben Foyer, takes a free base. Karsten Hansen will dig in with runners on the corners and just 1 out. A double play now in order, but first we're going to have a conversation on the mound. Josh Porter came in this inning to relieve Connor Hammonds, who pitched really well after coming in the 4th. And Porter got the first out pretty quick on a fly ball to center, but since then, a couple of free bases and a big double from Kiefer.
Yep.
And the Squatch have traction here in the bottom of the 8th, trying to build a lead. Of course, you can never get too big of a lead, but you feel pretty comfortable no matter what lead you have when you know the Grim Reaper's coming out of the pen.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, and that's just the confidence we have in everybody in our pen, especially Jackson. Just you go out with a run lead and kind of just put your heads down and go watch. It's you don't see too many guys like him, and to be able to be on his team and watch it each and every day, it's special. Watching him's fun. You can't take it for granted.
And this is your second season with him in Spearfish.
Yes.
Has there been anything different that you've seen from year 1 to year 2?
He's throwing way more strikes than he did last year, and it's just the confidence he has in himself and his stuff compared to last year's is unmatched. I mean, he knows when he steps on the mound and gets the ball that no one's going to touch him. And it's great to watch.
Still has a perfect ERA.
Yep.
Trying to keep that rolling here tonight. First and third, 1 down. Karsten Hansen digs in. Reached on an error his first time up, came in to score, then ground into a fielder's choice in the 4th and struck out in the 7th. First pitch is outside. Karsten has gotten some limited action, but a lot more since the turn of the second half. Has there been anything that stood out about Karsten to you?
I mean, just kind of seeing him kind of get in the groove again. When he starts swinging it good, he swings it good. I mean, he's a great athlete. He can run, he can good arm, and just he's a great teammate. It's fun watching him succeed.
Yesterday went 2 for 4. His second multi-hit game this season. Trying to come through in the 8th. Big hack and a miss. And it's 1-1. Torelli on deck. Pitched a great top of the 8th inning, coming in from center field. They'll check on Foyer.
Great play by Owen a couple innings ago, back picking the guy at third base. I mean, that changes the game right there. It gets us 2 outs instead of 1 out with the guy on second and third. Caught him sleeping and just changed the game, gave us some momentum back. Great heads-up play.
It feels like he's been that guy behind the dish all season long.
His arm's unbelievable, and watching him make these throws. And they're not routine throws either, watching him block a ball and then throw it off 1 foot and getting the guy out by 5 feet still. It's awesome to watch.
Well, especially on that throw down the third, it was a righty in the dish.
Yeah, and he just threw it around him. I mean, there's no doubt about it either.
Hansen works a walk, and that will load him up for Lucas Torelli. That'll draw the pitching coach out of the dugout. Actually, I believe that's the head coach, and he's going to make the move down to the bullpen. Josh Porter gets an out in the bottom of the 8th, but cannot get out of the inning. We'll introduce the new pitcher when we come back. The Squatch have the bases loaded and 1 down.
Fight, so raise a glass to the boys on the field. With Squatch juice in hand, fate is sealed. In Spearfish we trust, our spirits unchained. Under the stars, champions proclaim.
Now pitching for the Oahe Zap, number 15, T.J. Eikenberry. Fans, make sure to check the back of your tickets and take advantage of some of the savings and coupons provided by our great partner. Monument Health is committed to treating and caring for you with 5 hospitals, 8 specialty and surgical centers, and over 40 clinics. Monument Health is here to make a difference and to help you. Set up an appointment today with a healthcare provider at your local Monument Health. Now for the Sasquatch, number 11, Luke Torelli.
Bases loaded for Lucas Torelli in the bottom of the 8th. Squash lead 5-3. New pitcher for the Zap is T.J. Eikenberry. Attends Ellsworth Community College.
Luke's been seeing the ball great at the plate. Call's not really going his way all day. I just see another one go against him. It's great seeing him keep his composure about it, though, and just stay within his game.
Yeah, and that one's called a strike too.
And another one low and kind of outside. So,
I mean, how do you keep your composure at the plate when you face a couple pitches that don't go your way?
Yeah, it's hard. And just, exactly like what Luke's doing it. Just kind of staying within himself, right? In his zone, and not letting the umpire really dictate his attitude towards the game. Calls don't go his way a lot in this game, especially. But he keeps the same swing, keeps swinging that what he knows are strikes. He's not chasing anything that's obviously not a strike. So it's great to see from him.
He walked and scored in the 3rd inning, part of that 3-run third that got the offense going. Here's a high fly ball deep to left center. It will one-hop the wall. Kiefer comes in from third. Foyer right behind him. Here comes another runner to the plate. He will score. Bases clearing double for Lucas Torelli. Hanson, Foyer, and Kiefer all come in, and that's a way to break it open.
And that's exactly how you do it with McCall's not going against you right there. Textbook by Luke.
A bases clearing double, and it's 8-3, 4 runs in the bottom of the 8th. And exactly what the Sasquatch needed with the Zap building momentum the last couple of innings. But the Squatch bats come alive. Here's Sam Kwapnowski. First pitch, high fly ball, deep to right center, going back on the warning track, looking up, it is gone. 2-run shot for Kwapnowski.
You know, just going, I mean, me and Quap had a long talk before the game started just about kind of mental stuff. And one of the big things he told me is just walking to the plate saying, I'm that guy. And, you know, Quap is that guy. As you see him hit, I believe his third or fourth home run this season. And he got every bit of it.
A no-doubter to right center. His 4th home run of the season. And the Squatch, who were leading by 1 coming into this 8th, have hung 6. It's 10-3. And the heavy bats have really started to come alive. Clay Porter digs in, had a big base hit his last time up.
Yeah, it's great watching Clay see what he does. I mean, just he's done this since my freshman year of high school, and 4 years later, still the same guy. It's great being on the same team with him and watching him play every day.
So remind me, did you play against him in high school?
Yeah,
okay.
So I played against him. I was a freshman and he was a senior in high school. You know, we kind of became good buddies on the field and continued to talk after each game and just throughout these 4 years. And we lost Nick in Fort and decided to shoot him a text and see if he was doing anything, and he wasn't. So we got him to come out.
Tapper pulled foul. Now walk me through that phone call with him, because I know you called him up and said, hey, we've got some openings.
Yeah.
You want to come up to Spearfish?
Yeah, you know, I shot him a text first and just said, hey, dude, you playing summer ball anywhere? He said no, so I shot him a call and just said, hey, we need you. And, you know, we kind of talked about Spearfish and where we were and the league. You know, knowing Clay, this is his country, you know, likes to fish, likes to hunt. We're going fishing tomorrow at the lake, so he was all in for it right off the bat. Talked to his dad and got him out here.
Well, he told me a funny story. His freshman year at Chaffey College, him and his roommate actually didn't have any. The housing around the area was too expensive, so him and his buddy bought a trailer and lived up in the mountains.
Yep. You know, that's Clay right there. He's an awesome guy, great guy, and I love being on our team with him. It was kind of funny. I played against him in high school, and when he went to Chaffey, my dad was a coach at Saracoso. So my dad got to play against him on the other team, and he got to see what I was dealing with for the year of baseball with him.
Here's Bowman, hack and a miss, fouls it off. But imagine your first year in college, and you're living in a trailer in the mountains.
Yeah, you know, once you talk and get to know Clay, I mean, you're not surprised by that at all. It's he walks around barefoot all the time, no socks, just kind of just down to earth guy. I mean, he's a great dude.
His hat company is named the Dusty Bunch after his friend group in high school.
Yep.
Ground ball up the middle, bobbled by the shortstop Frazier, and Bowman's aboard via an error. That'll bring up Owen Michelson for the second time this inning.
A little laugh from Bowman and Gavin Frazier, as they were teammates at Saracoso, so you know it's kind of fun playing against guys you know.
Did you play with Frazier at all?
No, so I was still in high school when Frazier was up here, but I was up at the field all the time and got to know him really well and his family. And they're great people, so me and Gavin still talk when we get to see each other.
Lifted down the right field line, just goes foul. And there's a lot of Saracoso guys between both teams. Of course, a ton on the Spearfish team because of your dad.
Yep.
But also the Zap. They've got Emiliano Curiel over there,
Yep.
Connor Goldberg. Talked about Gavin Frazier, who used to be at Saracoso.
Yep.
Is there a pretty strong connection between the two teams because of that?
Yeah, kind of. We talk crap a lot more to each other. Kind of. It just makes it fun, makes it more competitive. And we have Garen Gledhill and AJ Johnson playing second base too. So it's kind of Coso versus Coso at these games, and it's fun. It's a good time.
Just shows you the talent as well over there at Saragossa.
Yeah, I mean, the program got turned around a lot since Coach Scott's been there, and it's been great to watch and see, and now finally being able to come back and play for him this next coming year. Can't wait. So,
how old were you when your dad took over the program?
I was in third grade.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was 7 or 8 when we moved from Northern California down to Southern California and Ridgecrest. So.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So you've grown up around the team quite a bit, seen it in its highest and its lowest times.
Yeah. And just, it's been a great experience for me, too. Just kind of being around baseball in my life. And, each day you watch baseball, you learn something new. And just kind of getting the knowledge for the game and stuff like that.
Michelson goes down swinging on the check swing. But the Squatch hangs 6 in the bottom of the 8th. Sam Kwapnoski with his 4th home run of the season, and Spearfish lead Oahe 10-3. The Grim Reapers coming out of the bullpen when we come back.
Alrighty, fans, we have your Mr. Sasquatch winner, Brandon Hoffheim. Congratulations. Do you have a speech?
I just want to say thanks for letting us come out. You guys have such a wonderful crowd, an amazing town, super clean, super pretty. Thank you again for everything, guys. So have a great night.
For participating, and thank you to our other participants as well.
When you venture to Spearfish in the Black Hills of South Dakota, you'll find rugged hiking and biking trails, extreme rock climbs, and views that will take your breath away. Plan a Spearfish vacation and come find your adventure. Spearfish, my great place in South Dakota.
Jake Daly to lead off the top of the 9th. Last chance for the Zap. Now trailing 10-3 after a massive 6-run 8th inning. Spearfish looking to bounce back after dropping 2 in a row. The first time they've done that since late May. It doesn't. If the score holds, it doesn't look like that losing streak is going to last for much longer.
No, not at all. These guys are obviously a little ticked off from the past couple of games, but we're not going to let it happen a third time if they can help it.
The 0-1 from Peters is in the dirt. And the Grim Reaper has been as good as you can be out of the bullpen. A perfect ERA and a .61 whip. Leads the team with 33 strikeouts and has only allowed 5 walks.
He's still at 0 for the ERA?
Still at 0.
Don't want to jinx anything, obviously. There was a couple of times where he had a run around third. He actually made a play and threw it to home to keep that 0 ERA.
And he did admit that is why he made the play.
Well, I bet it was.
I mean, they had a huge lead, but said, there ain't no way I'm giving up my perfect ERA.
You know, listen, at the end of the day, it looks good either way. 1, you keep your ERA. 2, you're not allowing another run for the other team. You're still helping your team win that game. You're
Absolutely.
Getting it out. Yeah, absolutely.
2-2 on the leadoff hitter, Jake Daly. Swing and a miss. Down he goes. Make it 34 strikeouts for Peters.
let's talk about Peters' mindset. He came up here the other night talking about Aiden Bob Brothers and how he should throw more competitive pitches. That pitch is weirdly a competitive pitch. Even though it's about 6 inches outside the zone there, 6, 7, 8 inches outside, he's thrown that same pitch across the plate twice before that at-bat and fires one with a little bit more kick and just makes the batter swing. It's a phenomenal pitch by him.
He features a fastball around 89 to 92. As we've talked about, every time he comes out, it works a lot more like a sinker. You'll see a lot of cut on his four-seam fastball. Also features a slider and a splitter. That one kicks inside. It's 1-1. He did not make an appearance this last spring at St. Edwards. He has entered the transfer portal. Said he just wants a chance to play to prove why he can be the guy out of the bullpen in a closer situation. And he's had a huge, of course, has a huge guy in his corner. His dad played in the Montreal Expo system, made it all the way up to AAA, also pitched at Arkansas. So he's had a really big figure in his life be able to help him get to this point. But for the most part, and I've asked Jackson this, I asked him, how much has your dad really helped you with the pitching? And he said, for the most part, my dad, of course, has been the number one coach for me, but especially when he graduated high school, he said that his dad let him go through the recruiting process himself just like any other kid. Despite his connections at Arkansas, his dad said, I want you to be able to go through this yourself, figure it out yourself, and go through the process like anybody else would. And Jackson said that really helped him just realize that this is the next step for him, what he actually wants.
Right.
And it's obviously he would have loved to be able to throw a lot more the last couple of years at St. Edwards. But, boy, has he been electric this summer.
He really has. He really has. Puts one runner on there by the way of a walk. Still has one out so far here in the ninth. 2 away from a bounce-back win for the Squatch.
He will face Quinn Ludvigsen. That one gets a piece of Quinn. So back-to-back free bases. That'll bring up Noah Codina, and Michelson's going to go on out and talk to Peters.
Yeah, that is definitely a little bit unlike Peters. He was pretty frustrated with that pass walk fire. That went in pretty hard. I didn't see it hit him. It must have just either hit him on the bounce or hit him.
Might have got his front foot.
Either way, it's pretty funny. Well, not funny, but educational. I mean, Michelson's out there talking to Peters about his arm angle right now, actually. You could see it just a second ago. So I'll tell you, for as funny as a guy as Michelson is over there in the bullpen playing a hacky sack and messing around, he's a very smart catcher and knows these guys' arm angles and was talking to Peters right there about the way he's throwing.
And when Michelson was up here, we asked him, who's your favorite guy to catch? And interestingly enough, he said Peters, just because of how good he is and how hard it is for guys to hit against him.
Right.
It's obviously weird to look at, and sometimes you don't know exactly where the ball is coming from. But for a catcher like Michelson, he likes the challenge, and especially catching a guy who is as hot as Peters is right now.
Absolutely. It's always fun to be the catcher who goes out and daps up your pitcher after a win, which he's done a couple times with Jackson Peters here. Hopefully doing it again.
1-1 on the 7-hole hitter, Codina, with 2 on. Pulled it foul.
Another nice pitch there by Peters. One thing you'll see consistently from the batters facing him is they'll roll over a lot because they'll go for that outside corner fastball because they have to, but it's coming in so fast they're late on it, but they're still trying to get a pull on it. It's a funky scenario for these hitters. You'd think they just try to go opposite field, but you see a lot of rollovers with JP on the mound.
Shoots it the other way. Porter will go to second for 1, no turn, and it's a fielder's choice as Porter tried to turn 2, but the speedy Noah Codina did not force the throw from Foyer.
Yeah, we saw Codina beat out. I forgot if it was an infield single or what it was earlier, but it might have been another attempted double play. But he's a pretty quick guy in the base paths. Regardless, Squatch have 2 outs here now, AJ, 1 away. Obviously, Peters doesn't want to focus too much on the guy at third, but with that 0.00 ERA, he's got one eye on him probably.
Andrew Phillips will dig in. First pitch. Misses low. You got to give credit to Porter on that play, though. He's going glove side and has to flip his hips and make an awkward throw to second to even give them a chance at turning two. Is able to get the runner. Runner takes off for second. The ball scoots away from Michelson up the first base line. Quickly goes over to grab it.
There might have been a single thought in Michelson's brain that he could get a guy out there, throw a guy out to end the game if that ball is right in the mid. Of course, skipping away, probably no shot there.
So now 2 runners in scoring position for the Zap. Trailing by 7, they would need a lot here in this final frame to try and make a comeback.
Yeah, you're not overly concerned about losing, but JP obviously wants to close this one out with a bang here.
The 2-0. There's a strike called at the knees.
And we've talked about his almost sinking fastball before, as many MLB pitchers have the same thing. It's tough for hitters because it looks like it's coming right down the middle, and all of a sudden it drops. Of course, for Peters, it's frustrating when it gets called low, and it started higher.
Fouled away, and the Zapper down to their final strike. 2-2, 2 down in a 7-run ball game. 2 in scoring position for Oahe. Phillips trying to keep this game alive. Peters looking to keep his perfect ERA alive. Ready at the belt, the 2-2. Just missed inside.
Barely on the inside corner. I do agree right there, probably just over the paint. Peters has one more in the holster here.
Full count, 2 down. Curiel is on deck. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Down he goes, and Jackson Peters has done it again. Couple of strikeouts in the 9th. And the Squatch bounced back with a 10-3 victory and improved to 22-10 on the season and end the losing streak, if you can even call it that, at 2 games.
Yeah, a losing streak of 2 games is, not something to be ashamed of. It happens to all teams. You wouldn't even call it a slump, really. Just kind of a weird little bump in the roller coaster of joy here in Spearfish so far this summer. It's a beautiful night. The sun set over the mountains once again, the Hill Mountains. But, AJ, what a finish for Jackson Peters. Again, keeps that 0.00 ERA. A couple of guys really happy about their performance in the field today. Foyer back in. He turned a double play. Torelli out, and center made a phenomenal double play from there, almost playing center to left. It was a crazy play from him. Obviously, he can improve at the plate. I know he was frustrated with his performance there. Chase Scott came up and talked to us, so a really good bounce-back game today for the Squatch.
Will Furry, a phenomenal 5 innings. Only threw 46 pitches. A lot of soft contact, and he is your player of the game tonight.
I wouldn't doubt it for Furry. 46, he had a couple innings. He had a 5-pitch inning. That was the one with Torelli's double play. I believe he had a 10-pitch inning. I think he had a 7 or 8-pitch inning as well, which is just, you know what, he did have a 7-pitch inning because he had a 9-pitch inning the next one, I think.
Yeah, he had, here, I wrote it all down so that we could break it down.
It was like 7-9, 10-5.
Yeah, 7-9-10, and then I think we didn't get the exact number in the 4th inning, but 5 pitches in that last 5th inning.
Let's do some quick math here, shall we?
41 minus 26. What is it?
15.
15 pitches in that 4th inning.
Yep.
And that is all the Squatch have wrote. Will Furry, a massive game tonight. And the Bats come through late, 6 runs in the bottom of the 8th. And the Squatch pick up a 10-3 victory and bounce back in a big way. Going into the 2-day break, when we return to the ballpark, it'll be a 2-game series against the 2nd place Casper Spuds. That'll be a huge series. You won't want to miss it. If you haven't made it out to the ballpark, or even if you have, definitely make sure you come out for July 5th. It'll be a fireworks night and the first game against the Spuds. And then the 7th will be the first game against the Bison, and that will be Ben Zobrist night. A whole lot of fun coming up on the schedule, but of course we celebrate tonight, 10-3, the final from Spearfish. When we come back, we'll interview one of the assistant coaches about the bounce back W. Don't go anywhere. Postgame coming up next. 10-3 the final here in Spearfish. Octavio Sanchez now joins up in the press box. Octo, first of all, congratulations on the bounce back win. How did it feel down there to get that one?
Oh, it felt good. You know, yesterday we were a little flat, a little low on energy, and, you know, they obviously had a good game and they wanted it a little bit more yesterday, so that was good to bounce back and put that many runs up on the board.
I mean, Will Furry was lights out. 5 innings, just 46 pitches. You want to talk about efficiency? You talk about what Furry did today.
Yeah, so, and I told him before the game, hey, you're not going to go as long as usual. We got some guys that we got to get back in there. We had to see Wesley Payne today, and, I mean, that was electric. I wish he could have kept going, and I told him, now you just showed me you can do it, you better do it the next one.
Exactly. Have another quality start.
Yep.
Let's talk a little bit about the bullpen as well. Saw Wesley for the first time today. What did you see from him out of the pen?
You know, he has a really good presence on the mound. He throws with conviction. He's not afraid of anybody, and, you know, he had a great outing. I got to see a bullpen yesterday. We kept it short to keep him available today, and we just wanted him to get out there, get his feet wet, and, you know, be ready for the next one.
A little shaky from Phoenix. Of course, the offense is able to help him out and back him up. What was your conversation with Phoenix when he came off the mound?
Yeah, I told him he did a great job. You know, I wanted him in the zone. He didn't give anything away. Yeah, I think we had an error that inning behind him that hurt a little bit. But other than that, you know, he was in the zone, gave a few hits, didn't get hit too hard. So, you know, good outing from him. Just baseball, it's going to happen.
Exactly. And it was close going into that 8th inning, but then 6 runs. Again, it always feels like the offense is going to have that one inning. This time it happened to come in the 8th.
Yeah. I mean, how you said it, we always have that, how would I say?
It just feels like it's almost inevitable that this offense is coming.
It's going to come at some point. It's just a matter of when, and everything clicked right there. And then big hit by Torelli with bases loaded, and then obviously Quap sending that one out of the yard. So
a really fun finish in that 8th inning. But I wanted to ask about that play from Torelli. Of course, in deep center field, he makes that incredible catch and then throws out a guy at first and then comes in to throw a great inning. How important has he been to this team this summer?
Oh, he's been huge, and obviously he's a high-profile guy, and he's going to end up at a great school, and they're going to be happy with him if a team doesn't take him in the draft and whatnot. But, I mean, all around, just a great baseball player. It's hard to impress me defensively. I've had a lot of good defensive teams behind me, and, I mean, that was impressive. That was a hell of a play.
Yeah, it reminded, I said Ramon Laureano, Aiden said PCA. There was a lot of big league comparisons when looking at that play.
Oh, yeah.
It was pretty electric, but now we turn the page, a 2-day break, and then you welcome the Casper Spuds for the first time this season. What are you telling the guys as you go into this break?
You know, something we told the guys yesterday, we kind of set the bar for us, you know, winning the first half, the way we won the first half. Everybody wants to beat us. Everybody's going to give us their best, and we got to come to the field ready to go, and it'll be an exciting one. I think they're in second place, so it should be a good series with them.
A lot of good baseball coming up.
Good.
If you haven't made it out to the ballpark, definitely should for these next few weeks. This team's fun to watch, and they're getting hot once again.
Yep.
Awesome. Appreciate your time, Octo.
Thanks, man.
Yep, thank you. Don't go anywhere. We'll finish up the postgame when we come back. The Squatch win it 10-3. (10-3) the final. The Squatch improved to 22-10 on the season. The Zap dropped to 12-18 on the year. AJ Reeser and Aiden Wirtz up here for the postgame. Great words there from Octo talking about how important this bounce back win was, and of course all of the spectacular plays, innings, outings of this game. I mean, it's been.
Sorry, Minnesota shirt. AJ's from Minnesota.
Let's go. Shout out. Well, I mean, now that I'm a Hawkeye, I can't really shout out the Gophers.
You can. If you grew up watching them, it's fine. I diverted from conversation. Back to you. Back to Squatch.
But what were some of the things that really stood out to you tonight?
What a start from Furry. Oh, my gosh.
Unreal.
That is the – epitome, that is the pinnacle, that is the catalyst of everything this team is about. How do we start? Right, you can finish very well. We've seen them finish well, right? We've seen walk-offs. We've seen Jackson Peters shut down the lights fast in that final inning,
man.
right? Grim Reaper, you've called it's great. It's a great title. But having Furry throw 4 or 5 innings at 46 pitches is unreal. That is insane work when you are playing against other college players. Awesome stuff. I think one of the biggest takeaways right now is that young guys are going to learn through, I wouldn't use the word failure, but definitely through for example, if you're a pitcher, you're going to learn through getting hit pretty well. Look at Phoenix, right? If you're a guy in the field, you're going to learn through making errors. It's how it's going to work, right? Not always are we going to get phenomenally turned double plays, right? Foyer's been in. He turned a double play today. Obviously, Clay Porter's been learning as well. Guys like Isaac Martinez have been bouncing back from the outfield to the infield. He was hurt yesterday with a little leg injury. But I think that you have to take the good with the bad. The good being a bounce-back win. I shouldn't even use the word bad. None of this was bad. It was more a learning experience. But again, please, younger players or guys who are new into Spearfish or any team, do not take every error you make, do not take every bad thing you make as some sort of, lifelong error. It's going to dwell on you. We got Evan Luke up here, so I'm not just going to hop off the mic and put Evan on here. Get on. Get on.
Get on, Luke? All right, Evan. It's
go.
It's your final day in Spearfish. First, I got to ask, how are you feeling after getting hit by that foul ball?
You saw that?
We did see it. We saw it.
That was brutal. I keep getting knocked down, man. It's crazy. I think.
But you pop back up.
Yeah, that hurt really bad. That's for sure. It was not too fun at all.
But your last day in Spearfish, obviously the guys get a W. I mean, it sucks to see you leave, of course, but you made such an impact on this team, on the mound, off the field. We can't thank you enough for coming out here to Spearfish and having such a great time and helping these guys win the first half.
Yeah,
it's been unreal.
I mean, I really have just had the best time out here. I mean, not only is just this town absolutely beautiful. I mean, I come from St. Louis, Missouri. It's real muggy and gross out there, that's for sure. So coming out here is a big change of scenery. But the connections that I've made with the guys on the team, the interns out here, being up here in the press box has been just unbelievably fun. I mean, and then just finally getting to pitch again. I mean, the opportunity that the Sasquatch gave me, I mean, I'll never forget about this summer, that's for sure.
Absolutely, and you pitched phenomenally.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
been
you much.
really fun, and of course, picking your brain as well when you're up here.
Right.
You're kind of natural on the headset.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing it for a little bit, so I'd hope I'd be somewhat decent.
Absolutely. Well, how did it feel to get a W here tonight? Obviously, Furry absolutely shoved on the mound.
Yeah, and I mean, it's great to see that. He's just a complete workhorse, a guy that's day in and day out wanting to get better, and he'll come up to me and ask me like, what can I do differently right here? What can I change? And I'll give him some stuff, and he'll go work on it, and then he'll ask another guy, what can I do this? He's a guy that loves learning about the game, and it's tremendous to see him succeed like he has been doing all summer long. He's been just phenomenal for us so far, and it's great to go out on a win, that's for sure.
Now, before we let you go for the summer, what are your plans for the rest of the year and getting ready for year 2 at Central Missouri?
I mean, I think I got to go home and get a job. I mean, I'm kind of broke, that's for
What?
sure. But, going home, getting healthy, trying to get in with my pitching place, and then a lot of shopping until so I can set up my apartment and whatnot. I mean, it's kind of an empty, bare room, so I'll have a lot of stuff to do with that, kind of going back and forth between St. Louis and Central Missouri. So a lot of that, but just a lot of getting healthy, lifting, and, spending time with family and whatnot.
Absolutely. Well, we wish you the best moving forward. Thank you for all you've done
for sure
this summer.
AJ, always a pleasure, man.
Awesome.
Always a pleasure.
Appreciate you, Evan.
I'll let Wirtzy back on the mic.
We'll close it out. Some people are
sweet.
asking for us to go down and take a picture. But 10-3 the final here in Spearfish. For everybody here in Spearfish, Evan Luke, my partner Aiden Wirtz, who's been producing, directing, color commentating, researching all summer long for all the home games. I'm AJ Reister saying good night from beautiful Spearfish, South Dakota.